a healthy scratch. Although the play you heard there in the open, he was playing, and it was the Bills game here. That was the pick, I think, toward the end of the first half or end of the game. I think it was maybe in the end of the first half where Mahomes was rolling out to his right, and Elam picked it off like right on the edge of the boundary in the end zone. So, it's, all right, well, he did play. He did have one big play, got a pick against Patrick Mahomes, but it just never seemed to work out for him in Buffalo. He went to Dallas, and it clearly hasn't worked out for him as well. So I think the thought is Steve Spagnuolo, Dave Merritt, here you go. First round pedigree.
Make it happen.
Make our future.
Yes.
I'm a veg, Danny.
That's
yeah.
That's a Caddyshack
Yeah.
for you there, Kyle.
Make your future.
But I do think it's of note because, yes, we can talk about Kyrie Elam, but this is also kind of what Brett Veach does, right? Like how many of the first round picks of other teams have been brought in, and how many of them have worked?
Well, considering that might be used an hour from now.
Oh.
If it's important enough,
okay,
I can burn it here.
No.
Not that many.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
I can give you the number of picks.
Okay.
23.
23?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
23 picks since he took over in 2017. 23 former first-round picks have been signed by the Chiefs. They haven't all played. Some of them have been practice squad guys. One guy was signed to a futures contract and never played. 23 former first-round picks.
You know, and this is one of the things, like we're working on some stuff. Thunderdome is working on a number of different things that are going to be interesting when we get it, you know, because there's like this, the moment, like after any Chiefs loss, and this year there were many, but previous to this year there were not many, but after any of them, immediately somebody was the villain, and oftentimes it was Brett Veach who doesn't know how to draft.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. We're going to quantify it mathematically here at some point. We're going to find out, you know, comparatively how he's done. But, you know, he moved up to 21 to get it, and presumably to get in front of one of the teams being the Buffalo Bills, because they would take a corner 2 picks later.
Yep. But
he moved up to 21 to get Trent McDuffie, and the Bills did take a corner. And my assumption is, had he not moved up to 21 and had 22, who was 22 was Quay Walker, linebacker that went to Green Bay. If they still go linebacker, and when the Chiefs moved up, I don't remember, was it Cincy? Because that's who picked 31, so I think that's who it was.
Who did they trade with?
Yeah.
I think it was New England.
Okay, so they moved from 29.
Yeah, 29.
Or did they move to 31 and then the Patriots moved up to 29? I think that might be it.
Yeah. What I saw on the Pro Sports Transactions page was
look and see, because I think the Patriots then went from 31 up to 29. They jumped up in front of the Chiefs. Is my recollection now, but a lot of different draft day trades. But anyway, the point is he got up in front of the next team to take a corner that he got in front of was the Bills, and they took Kyrie Elam, and Trent McDuffie was by far and away the superior player.
Yeah.
And there was no other corner that went between Kyrie Elam, and at that point the next DB was Daxton Hill to the Bengals at 31. Lewis Seen, who was a safety, and Hill might have been a safety too. He was kind of a hybrid, if I recall. But Lewis Seen, safety from Georgia, who we both liked a lot and didn't do anything, he went 32 to the Vikings. The next guy that was listed as corner was Roger McCreary, who went 35, third pick of the second round at Tennessee. He clearly moved up and made the right decision, right? With a guy that, I don't know, is Trent McDuffie going to be a Hall of Famer? I don't know. It's hard to be a Hall of Famer at corner because there's so many of them now, so many of them play. But he's got 2 All-Pro seasons.
Yep.
I mean, so he's got a shot at it. We'll see how long he plays at a high level, but he's got a shot at it.
By the way, they got 29 from the Dolphins in the Tyreek Hill trade. They traded up to the Pats at 21. The Pats went down to 29.
Oh, so it was 29.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had 29
and
and
they
30.
took Cole Strange.
Yep, offensive lineman. But now they bring Kyrie Elam in, who we can presume they had at least a decent grade on. And like I said, he was a bona fide. I don't know. I don't think he qualified. I know in the Chiefs, assessment, he was not a first-round talent, because I remember the reason, when they did the press conference, the reason for moving up was because Brett Veach said, well, he was the last first-rounder. We saw him. We saw the opportunity to go get him, and we went and got him.
Yep. And
that's the one that I think for some of us, we're like, oh, that worked out so well. It's maybe empowered more trade-ups than we would like. But, that's the thing. And when you do it, you got to be right. And he was right on that one. Now we're going to find out if this coaching staff can take Kaiir Elam, who's been largely a disappointment in his career. By the way, Kaiir Elam, they have a little stat they call weighted approximate value, right? Trent McDuffie's been a 33. Kaiir Elam's been a 9. It's their way to try to quantify each player against different positions, so to give a numeric value so you can rate a linebacker against a wideout. It's all right. I mean, it's good. It's great. It's probably great. I know the guys. One of the guys did it at the Linda Hall Library. Had him on, and the guy behind baseball, the reference sites. Mm-hmm. They're very smart people. So it's a fabulous formula. I'm quite confident of that. That has a lot of really smart people that put into it. I just think it's almost an impossible task.
Yeah.
But it's what we got to go on. And Trent McDuffie was a 33. Kaiir Elam was a 9 overall, 6 for Buffalo. So how much of Trent McDuffie's success was the coaching staff? Was being in Steve Spagnuolo's scheme, being used properly, having Dave Merritt's positional coaching. We're going to find out, because if Kaiir Elam becomes a productive corner, then a lot of it's the coaching. But there have been a lot. Would you say 23?
Yeah.
Former first-round picks that have been brought in, and the hit rate's not giant.
And he's had ample opportunity at now 3 different spots, actually. I forgot he went to the Titans toward the end of last year. He was decent in his rookie year, even though he didn't play as much. He got hurt, was placed on injured reserve probably the midway point of 23, played in 24, but if anybody remembers the 24 AFC Championship game, he was kind of pressed into action when Christian Benford got hurt, and he did not do well in either man or zone, and the Chiefs really picked on him in that game. So I don't know, maybe they saw him, went, we're killing this kid, but I see it there, Then he went to the Cowboys on a trade for some late round picks. They declined the 5th-year option and waived him in November, and the Titans picked him up, but they didn't do anything with him. He played in 4 games, didn't start. So I think they're looking at pedigree. It's at some point there's
ability
in his skill set. Can we get it out of him?
I think the good news is I don't think the Chiefs are asking him to be their number one corner. I think their number one corner is going to be Noel Williams,
and he won't be 25 until for another month.
Yeah, and Christian Fulton is there as well if he can stay healthy. But they get a young, talented guy, and I think they'll ask him to do less.
6'1", 190. Let's see. What can you do? We can find a way to. What can he do well right now, and how can we use it? And he couldn't have a better situation as far as his position coach and his defensive coordinator to work with.
No, agreed. And now you look at the Chiefs depth chart, and I think that the other thing that it does, and listen, I think the guy's going to be okay. And I think my hope is that they'll make him into a 3rd corner. Right? That maybe in the nickel he does start. That's my ceiling for this pick. Like what would be your ceiling? My floor is they cut him.
Yeah, right.
In camp.
Cut him in camp.
My ceiling is that he's the 3rd corner. I think if he's starting, something's gone drastically wrong someplace else.
I would agree.
I think we've got enough of a body of work that I don't think Dave Merritt and Steve Spagnuolo are going to be able to just wave a wand. So if he can be the 3rd corner, I think they've got excellent productivity out of him.
I also think, and I've seen a couple people note, I don't think this changes the Chiefs' draft strategy in the first 3 rounds.
I don't think it changes
it. Less likely they're going to go corner. If the right guy is there at 9, they're still going to go there, aren't they?
I don't think it changes it at 9 at all. No, I think at 9 you have to take 29 and 40. I think there's not an I think it takes away influence. I don't think it influences anything.
I see what you're saying.
I think it takes away a need. They were short at corner. Okay.
Yeah.
And you were looking at going nickel and probably putting I'm trying to think who it would be. Kevin Knowles was probably going to be your nickel, right? And he still might be your nickel. Or Chamari Connor was going to be at nickel, and I think most of us are voting not.
Yes.
I like Chamari Connor, the player, but I like him a lot more to like put him at safety and let him be a safety.
That's
I
what
like
he
him a lot
does.
more to safety where he covers here and there when you're disguising a blitz, but he's not routinely lined up on a wideout.
But he can be a missile and get into the ball carrier.
Yeah, so I this to me gives them the ability to hopefully slide Chamari Connor over to safety, which if that's the case, and I think they do like Knowles, they have Noel Williams, they have Christian Fulton, they now have Kyrie Elam, and they have Kevin Knowles to where they're 4 deep at corner. I think they're definitely going to take a corner in this draft. I think it'll probably be no later than round 4. But I don't think they have to feel like we have to get one earlier.
Yeah.
And so I think their needs are still the same. I think you'd still like to find a high-level corner. They appear to have found one in the 3rd round with Noel Williams. I think, this just lessens the need. I think this just makes it less of a need. And I do think need starts to become, as much as they want to say we're taking the best player available in every round, need creeps in more and more the later you go. Like, you better not be drafting for need in the 1st round because you're going to miss on you run the risk, a very high risk, of missing on premium talents. But this now means that they can lessen the influence that need clearly will have. It drops down the board, or its influence is lessened with each pick.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
But the only need, if you're up in the 1st round, that you don't just take the best players if you're looking for a quarterback. I mean, if you're at 3 and the quarterback's that would be the one spot where you say, okay, that's the guy. Maybe but the quarterback's probably the best player at that spot.
Well, let me
anyway,
ask you a question. So they say they play out every scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So Fernando Mendoza's there at 9. What do you do? Now, first of all, let me just say I think what you do is trade down, because if he is at 9,
there's something.
There are
on.
teams that are going to be like, I'll give you. I need to look at the mock draft here, and I can tell you, who would come running up to try to make that happen here. If you sit at 9, again, it's not happening, but just hear me out.
Sure.
And he's sitting there. The Dolphins at 11 are banging on your door. Now, if he's at 4, the Dolphins are trying to get there.
Yeah.
Okay? They're the first team after the Chiefs. If he's there at 2, the Saints might be calling. The Browns could be calling from 6. I don't think the Giants will. I think the Titans will stay at least one more year with last year's 1-1. The Cardinals at 3 will be calling the Jets about moving up. The Jets will take him at 2. I get all that.
Yeah.
But like,
run the contingency plan.
if a 1-1 quarterback falls to you at 9, take him. And figure out that if no one wants to trade for you that day, then trade him later.
Yeah.
If you believe he's a 1-1 quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard some people try to ding Mendoza. And if you're like, he's the best one in this class, but last year's draft he's the 5th quarterback taken, well then pass on him. 8 other teams have. Something's clearly wrong.
Yeah.
But to your point, I just want to play out that scenario. I would go ahead and take him and be like, okay, you don't want to give us what we want for our draft pick? Fine. He's sitting on a roster. And you play that Drek that you have at quarterback, and you'll be like, okay, and Andy will have him humming in training camp, and we'll have a great backup quarterback, and we're playing the long game because you're going to come give us 2 first-round picks for this guy next year. So, again, it won't happen, but just to finish that thought process off.
Rest assured they have that idea.
But what it does do is, like, there's a scenario, because I think it played out, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Okay. So there was a mock draft that was just done on ESPN, and is it 3 of them or 4 of them?
4 of them. Kiper, Miller, Mel Kiper, Matt Miller,
Field Yates,
Jordan Reed, and Field Yates.
Okay, so they just basically went every 4th. Each guy took every 4th pick. And so how this draft fell was Mendoza 1 to the Raiders, Arvell Reese, the edge from Ohio State, 2 to the Jets, Francis Mauigoa, tear down my cheek, goes 3 to the Cardinals, which I think is a likely destination for him. Like I said, we did our mock draft on the Red, Gold, and Bold, and he ended up being there at 9, and I took him. 4 to the Titans, David Bailey, which more and more we keep seeing some things that David Bailey might not go up that high.
Yeah.
Might not go 3 or 2 or 4.
He's been as high as 2 in some of the notable mock drafts, but I've seen him not be available at 9 in a couple.
But in this one, he goes 4 to the Titans. Jeremiah Love, 5 to the Giants. Oh, we gotta fix our Saquon Barkley problem.
Mm-hmm.
6, the Browns take Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver from USC. That's awfully high.
Also, by the way, that means Cam. I don't think Cam Scadaboo is the answer. He's got some other issues though.
An injury, yeah, that's true. Or they just want a great 1-2 punch. Yeah. Like we didn't put much into Cam Scadaboo. Now we're going to put a lot into Love. But he is coming off a knee injury. I think it's a knee. Wasn't it a knee?
Something like that.
Whatever it was. Anyway, 7, Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State to the Commanders. 8, Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State to the Saints. So that means sitting here for the Chiefs in this mock draft is Mansour Delane, corner from LSU, the guy who ran the great 40 and is coming off injury, but looks like he's healthy.
Ridiculous, and the fluidity of his hips.
Yes, they like
impressive.
that. So he is now becoming. You can add him to what when this process started was probably not a true first round pick is now added to that mix as probably being a true first round pick. And then at 11, Carnell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State, went. 12, Reuben Bain goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Those guys went 10, 11, 12. At 9, they had the Chiefs taking Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon. So I get it. You know, it's like, yes, Travis Kelce's back in Kansas City, but he's turning 37 next season, and quarterback Patrick Mahomes needs playmakers in this offense. Sadiq is as explosive and versatile as they come. Yeah, I get it. I don't think it'll happen, but okay. That was Mel that made that pick, right? But so if you're sitting there, and maybe you do love Ken, and maybe you do love Sadiq, okay? So Sadiq, Carnell Tate, Reuben Bain, Mansour Delane, it gets easier to not take Delane.
Yeah, if these others, with this signing.
With Elam. It gets easier. I'm not saying if you think Delane is a true shutdown cover corner, then I think that would probably be their pick. Because if he's healthy and you don't have injury fears about him moving forward, he fits the profile more of being a perennial Pro Bowler at his position than, frankly, Reuben Bain does.
For sure.
So, but now if you're like, we have the depth, we can develop guys, we're good, then you can take a different position. In this case, they have him taking Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon. So I don't think that'll happen, but it makes more sense with getting Kyrie Elam in there.
Yep. If you think he's got ability and the price is right.
It's okay to say that.
And I'm sure
they don't own the first.
Well, I didn't know if I had it right. If I had it, I said, did I mess that up? Yeah, if the price is right, then why not? I mean, that's a position where you aren't going for one guy. You can find a way to, if he's got anything close to the goods the Bills thought they had when he was drafted, they'll find a way to make him work in some kind of a scheme.
I do think it's of note that in this they've got Mekhi Lemon going ahead of Carnell Tate, who everybody's had as the consensus number 1 wide receiver. And so I think that is of note. I think these are the scenarios that Brett Veach and his staff are playing. Like, there's going to be something, like we're seeing that, and right now you're like, what are they doing? That's a reach. Until you see it 19 more times, and then on draft day, that's your expectation. And if he doesn't go there, you'll say, oh, my God, look, he's falling. I don't know that he's rising as much as the information is just getting in.
Yep.
Carnell Tate did not run a particularly fast 40 time. That's dinging him. 913-381-0810. You're in the program. You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, talking some Chiefs draft to get things started. 913-810-810. I mentioned that four-person mock draft on ESPN. I'm sure you're curious where they went with the rest of the Chiefs picks. At 29, it was again Mel Kiper making the pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Sissy, cornerback, South Carolina. I have both Chiefs picks in round one, and since I went offense with the first, I have to go cornerback here. No, you don't. You don't, Mel. But you did. Sissy makes plays on the ball and could help replace Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson down at 40. Who had 40?
I think it was Miller. By the way, I think that's Cisse.
I like Sissy. As in short for sister.
Yeah, or Cisse. Yeah.
Cisse?
Cisse. I'm seeing Cisse.
Or
Cisse.
if he's related to the Garcia family, it'd be Cisse.
Cisse.
The Chiefs have Jalen Moore as a veteran to anchor the right side for now, but he's on an expiring deal. It would be great value to land Blake Miller at this point in the draft. Offensive tackle Clemson is who they have going at number 40 for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
At 74, who had pick 74?
That would have been, I think, Field Yates.
Okay, Field Yates says, Kansas City can't get out of the first three rounds without an edge rusher. Height plays with urgency and violent hands. Romello Height, edge, Texas Tech. Would you be satisfied if that's what you got?
I'm a little leery of the Texas Tech situation. By the way, it says on the pick who made the pick. By the way, if you notice.
Where? Oh, Miller's pick.
I just noticed.
I can't be bothered with that.
I just noticed that. The fear I
no
have.
one else. The people who are driving in their car, they don't know that. Why do you always feel a need to make me look like a fool?
I don't know. Maybe payback. Trying to get one back every once in a while.
That is pretty bad now that I'm looking at it. Yates pick, Blake Miller,
Why does he
offensive
keep
tackle,
asking me? It's
Clemson.
right there. What is
Kiper.
that? I'm sorry, I don't read. I just generally do not read the first two words of any.
Well, I copied and pasted. I sent over a form sheet for our baseball predictions, and I copied and pasted what Kyle sent me. And for last place in the American League West, he had the Knights.
The Knights.
And I'm like, what is this? What is this? What do we?
It's
The Natural? Are we watching The Natural?
Yeah.
Here, and why are the New York Knights playing in the American League West now?
No
I don't
idea.
know.
Weird.
But apparently that's where he's going. Like I'm just saying I don't know. I think the computers, the AI might be taking over.
It might be.
I think they're starting with little jabs, like just changing things when I copy and paste.
Yeah.
Like I said, the blank form, all I literally had to do was copy and paste his stuff. And that's what I did. And there are like 3 or 4 things that were just flat out wrong.
What is going on there? Why does it say chicken? I don't know what that means. The fear I have with Romello Height is I'm always leery, particularly when you're looking at an edge or even a defensive tackle. Any guy, but particularly edge.
That plays
who's
opposite.
the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the other guy is going in the top 5.
I don't know why you
Romello Height is.
I don't know why you would have that fear, though. I mean, wasn't it laid out? Weren't we taught this lesson back in 2002 when the Chiefs Brain Trust told us that it was Julius Peppers that benefited from Ryan Sims on the inside of the North Carolina defensive line.
Yeah.
That's why Peppers looked so good. So taking him at 2 was the reach. Ryan Sims at 7 or 8, that was the bona fide stud.
And they were right because Sims is a Pro Football Hall of Famer and Peppers was a washout. Oh, no, it's
it's the other way around. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
So I'd be leery of anybody who was.
No, I think it's a great point.
Opposite a guy who's so good he's going to go 4 or 5.
Can we think of someone that did overcome that?
I think the two.
I think the closest would be Justin Jefferson, maybe.
Yeah.
That's not a D-line thing, but
the best I could think of is the two, and they weren't both as good, but there were 2 pairs of guys that were D tackles, the Georgia guys, who one went to the Pats,
Richard Seymour
and Marcus Stroud.
And Marcus Stroud, Richard Seymour, and they were both good.
Yeah, and Albert Hainsworth and John Henderson from Tennessee, they were both good. Pretty good. But those are interior guys.
Albert Hainsworth, Henderson, I think went before. Yeah. Hainsworth was more talented, but was also much more combustible. And once he got paid, he did flame out
for sure.
But that's a good point.
I can't think of a time where I haven't really looked at it, but where 2 edge guys went in the same draft from the same or one of them was way up there. So that would be my fear there.
There was also, I guess there was Courtney Brown, who went 1-1 to the Browns, but had knee problems, and then LeVar Arrington.
And he went
both came out of Penn State.
2 or 3.
They went 2. They went 1-2. Yeah, 1-1-2. 913-3810810. So in this they have, what do they have the Chiefs going? They have them going. Overall, they have them going. I forgot now who they took at 9. Tight end. Corner at 29. Was that right? No, or offensive tackle.
I thought, yeah, was it?
Yeah, corner.
I thought you said corner because
corner.
had them both.
Cisse. Is that how you're telling me it's pronounced? Cisse. Okay, Cisse. So they went tight end, corner, offensive tackle, and then at 74 they go corner again.
Edge,
like I said. So offensive tackle, and in order: tight end, corner, right?
OT,
offensive tackle,
edge.
I think it was Sterling. And by the way, I did just throw up in my mouth here because I'm going to give a compliment to Sterling. I'm just kidding. But Sterling was saying, I think it was Sterling or was it Darcy? And I'd never throw up in my mouth because Darcy's big. I'll whip Sterling's ass from one side of the studio to the other, but I ain't messing with Michael Darcy. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No. Pick you up with one
because I have a degree and I know physics and I'm losing. I don't really know physics, but I know ass kickings.
Yes.
Taking them more than giving them, by the way, not bragging. But I can't remember which one of them, but they said, like, hey, he's got pick 9. Or maybe it was you and Darcy last night. Was it you?
Likely. Maybe
it was you. I'm trying to give the right credit. Now I'm going through. I sound like never mind. But somebody was saying, one of you guys said he's got a premium pick, and edge is a spot that you usually need a premium pick to get him. I think he wants to use that pick on edge. In fact, it was you.
It was
you last night, and you said I think he might. If anything, he might even trade up. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, I said it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Because if he wants Bain, and Bain's not going to fall to 9.
And I was backing my car into the garage, and that's when I hit the side and crashed my car.
Yeah. He made a point?
No. So I was like, just trade roll. No, trade up.
Oh, my gosh.
No, please. Right. Don't trade up.
And in this one, as you pointed out, in this 4-man mock, Bain was there, and they have him passing on him.
Yeah. I think there's a chance Ruben Bain slides. The arm thing is real.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, look at the tape. Everybody's tape looks good. I mean, I would like. Here's what I'd like to know, and I suppose I probably could find. I don't know, with all the different streamings we have, maybe I could go back and watch every Miami game last year. Who does Sacks come against?
Yeah.
Do they have a game log on there on the reference sites? See if they got a game log. Did he get 7 of them in the first 3 games against nobodies? Did he pick up 3 of them against a team that didn't go to a bowl game?
I thought he had one monster game, the first game of the playoff.
Like I think he's a very good football player, but I think it's also entirely possible that if you impossible. I have not done this. I'm not saying this is a fact, but I think it's if you see him and he goes at 22, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they let him slide. What the reason he will have slid is because he piled up sacks against the lesser teams, and he's going to be his ceiling is George Karlaftis now. And I don't think George Karlaftis has necessarily reached a ceiling, but it could be that that's how he's viewed, and that's what he ends up being, is a real try-hard guy with a great toolbox, good power, but not the length to really just get around the edge and turn the corner, that he's going to be just a coverage sack guy, that at the very best you're getting Tom O'Lee, who is a very good football player, a Chiefs Hall of Famer. But, I think up there you're like, I think I've got some guys that I think could be NFL Hall of Famers, and I've got to take them over just a security. And again, that's the upside. Not everyone reaches their upside.
He had 6.5 sacks in his last 5 games, all against ranked teams.
Okay.
1.5 against Pitt, who's 22. 3 against number 7 A&M in that first playoff game. 1 against Ohio State, none against Ole Miss, and 1 against Indiana.
By the way, but I will give a footnote. That game against A&M, the wind was like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so throwing the ball.
It was 10-3 score.
He also had 4 tackles for loss in that game.
Yeah, but aren't 3 of them the sacks? So there's only one more.
I think they separate those.
Or do they separate them?
I think they do. I think it's a separate thing.
Okay. Then listen, he was a monster that day.
Includes sacks, Curtis. By the way,
It does include sacks?
If you
I don't think
highlight
the NFL
over the TFL thing there,
It Oh, they
do?
it includes sacks.
Okay, so he had one extra tackle for loss. But that was the game. Remember, Miami's field goal kicker. I mean, like the
Yeah.
ball was. You're watching
Yeah.
it like, oh my god, this is insane.
Yeah, it was
So
10-3
throwing the ball
it was
wasn't
10-3 for a
easy.
reason.
So the A&M QB, who I don't think was very good either, may have been patting the ball all day. But listen, Reuben Bain is a very talented player, and he's a good player. And I think what he is a high floor player. I just don't know how much ceiling is there.
Right.
So if he's there, I can see the Chiefs going no.
I almost think a better thing on tape. Fine, watching good stuff, but have if I was a GM, I would say find me the worst plays this guy had
They
last
do?
year. Oh, they do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
assume they do.
They have
me
watched every
Yeah, that's what I
snap of his career.
But put it in one. I want a mashup of the
They do?
25 worst plays.
Dude, we're not far from you and I being able to go, AI, give me this.
Yeah, that's probably
So
true.
they've had it for a while. I mean, that's part of what Huddle does, isn't it?
Probably.
I know
so,
they do
yeah.
that with like high school kids.
Yep.
I'm sure it's out there for the college as well. 913-810-810. Let's go to the phones. Jim waiting patiently. You're in the program, Jim. What's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, thanks for taking the call. Did I email you my notes on Reuben Bain and you guys just repeated them?
I don't think so. And I was trying to catch up on some emails last night, so I don't think so.
That's funny.
Here's my thoughts on Reuben Bain, as Curtis pointed out. His tape, and I've watched all the games in the college football playoffs. His tape in there is excellent. It is really good. But that's all there is for him. That's it. He had 4.5 sacks in the first 12 games last year. There are large spaces in those games where he disappeared. Okay, and he has no measurables that favor him in any way. We hear about the arms. Here's the big.
Hang on, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Can I, real quick, Jim, just because I don't want to get too far away from that point, and then I'll let you take
Yeah.
back over. Did he disappear, or was he just not putting sacks up? Like, do you remember watching?
I didn't watch all the tape for
Okay.
the first 12 games.
Okay.
I watched not all the tape, but I watched highlights for the college playoffs and then the game against.
Which is a great place to measure him because that's against high level competition
Absolutely.
with presumably pro caliber players. I bring it up just because did they double team and leave somebody home? I mean, they won every game in that stretch. So now they lost. What did they tank against Louisville? In there, so maybe that was in there. I'd be interesting to go back and see where that was. But did they put the whole kitchen sink on him, and that's why he didn't have any numbers? And but still Miami won and one going away because everybody else wrecked them. That's what would be interesting, and that's what they do, Jim. They watch every snap.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to discount that tape at the end of the season. He was fabulous, but that's it. His measurables, they talk about his short arms. He's 6'2".
Yeah.
He's not 6'2.5". He is short. He's horribly undersized for the position, in my opinion. And I know he weighs 263. He's got narrow shoulders. He doesn't have a wingspan. And I'm going to compare him to some guys. I'll give you just some numbers. And Derek Hall, the defensive end from Seattle, is 6'3", 254. Nick Bonito from Denver is 6'3", 249. And David Bailey is 6'4", 251. So all of those, and Reuben Bain 6'2", 263. All of those guys are 1.5 inches or 2 inches taller than him, and they're all within 10 to 15 pounds of him. Every single one of those guys runs a 4.54 or better. Okay? Reuben Bain didn't run for a reason. I think he would run about a 4.75. And if he's in a race with those three guys, you know what he looks like? The short, fat guy that finishes 10 yards behind them. I don't think he's going to be a bad player. I'm with you 100% on this, Soren. I think he has a high 4. I just don't think that's worth the number 9 pick. I really don't. The Chiefs it's going to be really interesting to see where they go because I think they could go in 10 different directions. If they went the Mansour Delane, that 40 time, I think that might put him in front of them at number 9. That's a ridiculous number for a guy that's 6 foot.
So let me
Maui-Goa.
Wait, don't let's stay with Bain before you go to Maui-Goa because I looked this up and I'm trying to find it and I'm not finding anything I'm not finding any real numbers on this guy other than what is written here where it says, hey, and I was trying to scroll through this article, but there's one thing. Speaking of overcoming long odds, here's what Ravens general manager Ozzie Newsome had to say years later regarding James Harrison's 2002 pre-draft measurables, right? The Pro Bowl and sack leader, and I don't look up how many sacks he had for his career. But number one, he came out of Kent State. Number two, the measurables were lacking. When you come from a small school, one of the things that can attract you to someone is good measurables, but some measurables were missing. Harrison bounced between the Steelers and Ravens early in his career and even played in the now defunct NFL Europe before latching on with Pittsburgh in 2004 and going on to become one of the greatest defensive players the organization has ever employed. You know,
84 sacks in 15 years.
Okay.
Was Defensive Player of the Year in 2000.
They listed him at 6 foot. I've had people tell me he was at best 5'11", so let's call him somewhere between 5'11" and 6 foot. He was an incredible workout warrior, a lifting guy, so much so that he was still lifting after his career was over, and I'm like, that guy just wants fake hips. I mean, I don't know why he's squatting 1,000 pounds after an NFL career. Like, take some, what are you doing? But he was
playing 190 NFL games.
But he was a sick workout guy, incredibly strong, and he overcame those. I mean, he was under height. He was, I'm sure, under arm length. So there is, and he came from Akron. Today's day and age, probably at Akron, 2 years in, Michigan would have had him, or Miami would have had him, or
Kent State.
I
confuse those two constantly.
He would have been gobbled up, been given big bucks to go play at a high level. So, like, if you want to see a path, like when you ultimately do take Reuben Bain, you're pointing to James Harrison. That to me is, he's 2 inches taller than Harrison. I think that's the guy that you look at and say, okay, this is the path for him. But again, he was undrafted. We're talking about using number 9, where you got to find the biggest exception to the rule. Like, I'm not basing things on the exception to the rule. Your numbers are right, and it's why I don't love the idea. I would say I don't like. And I haven't talked to the kid. I mean, I suppose you could look at his eyes and hear him talk and hear the passion and go, you know what? Like, it's there. We're going for him. And maybe that would be the right thing. But just not knowing the kid, I agree with your assessment.
And I'm always a little leery of comparing measurables of a guy who really thrived as the outside backer in a 3-4 than a true edge in a 4-3, right?
Well, that was Harrison.
Yeah, from Harrison.
But Bain did put his hand on the ground. So
yeah.
So, yeah, but that is a good point.
Soren, I have listened to a couple of interviews with him. I love him. I love the attitude. He seems intelligent. He seems committed to football. I love all of that. And this call isn't Reuben Bain sucks. It's just he's an outlier on a lot. It's not just arms.
It's I love Reuben Bain at 40, right? I don't love him at 9. Yeah.
There's a reason why he didn't run. We don't know how fast he is. And I'll end it with this. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had an elite weapon in about 4 years. Give Pat help. Give him help.
Who's the guy, though?
Carnell Tate. Tate's CeeDee Lamb. Same size, same height, within 3/100ths. CeeDee Lamb ran 4.50. Carnell Tate ran 4.53. Carnell Tate was faster in the last 30 yards of that 40. Carnell Tate, for me, is a CeeDee Lamb clone. If he's there at 9, take him all day long. That's my opinion.
And you mentioned Maui Goa. Did you have something you wanted to mention on him, too?
No, if he's there, again, it's all good. I'd love to be. Wouldn't you like to be the fly on the wall and be able to look at the Chiefs board? If the Chiefs rate Maui Goa as the best tackle and a starter year 1, and he's sitting there at 9, grab him. Give Pat help.
Yeah.
And I don't care in what form. Help Pat, because Pat will elevate will elevate the talents of another offensive player to Pro Bowl or Hall of Fame level.
I totally agree with your overall assessment. Jim, thanks for the call, buddy. It's always good to hear from you. You too. The help Pat, I'm always on that side. And whether it's offensive tackle and you go, okay, we've got our 2 offensive tackles for 4 years. We can look at extending them. We got 5th-year options on both of them. So we've got the 5th-year option on Simmons, and then we've got 5 years over here, and we can bookend our tackles. I think that's something Andy Reid really likes. So I would love it if that happens, and I think every team out there has Maui Goa as a true first-round draft pick. But I like what you said about CeeDee Lamb to Carnell Tate. I mean, we were watching some video of him earlier today to see the way he did everything, and he does seem to get behind people. Like, he does it by setting them up with good moves. It's not just pure speed. We've seen Xavier Worthy is the fastest guy out there, and he doesn't seem to always be able to get behind people. One, he doesn't have the strength to maybe push off or break the hand jam, the arm jam up front. But time and time again, there's video of him just going by a corner, and it's not just blazing speed; it's him setting up the move. And so, I am with you. And I think if Andy Reid's going to sit there and say these games are so close, they come down to what's happening at the end all the time. Okay, that's great. So then that means you need your offense to get it done, because that means your defense. To me, the defense, it's great what Steve Spagnuolo does, but you want the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands with weapons and protection around him if you got to win the game in the last minute. 913-3-810-810. We'll take a quick break. Ted, you'll be next here in the program. All right, 913-3-810-810. Talking some Chiefs draft here in the program. We're going to talk some There Can Be Only One and Stump the Chumps coming up here in a little bit. Peter Yates, Enoch, and Todd Liebel will join us right now. We talk to Ted. You're in the program, Ted. What's going on, bud?
You know, Soren, if Kurtis makes a fool of you, it's not all bad. You do get the assist.
That is true. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll take it.
Strong.
I'll take it.
Writing that down.
Stat seeker, you.
That's right. Pad the stats. Stuff them.
With the ninth pick, it seems, the Chiefs just aren't going to get that very often, right? It's how important it is. I don't see why you would take a corner, because they're not going to sign him to a second contract. It would seem to me with that ninth pick that's a organizational thing that you want that player there for a long time.
But hang on, just I want to be clear, Ted. Yeah. Isn't Trent McDuffie going to be here for a long time? I mean, they got multiple picks for him. So if you take a kid that let's be honest is being graded higher than Trent McDuffie, put him in with this great coaching, and he plays like the number one corner in football, then you're looking at getting a couple of first-round picks after 4 years. I can't see a better way to use a pick than to get the best years of a premium position and then get 2 more picks to go, add to your football team.
I can see that side of it.
Okay.
I guess I'm just wondering, is that pick? Is there a better position? And I know you don't want to rely on position in regards to the pick.
No, I think Ted, I think you make an excellent point. I mean, like, corner is a premium position, but you're also 100% right. I'm on the same page with you that it's a premium position. You need good corners, but the shelf life is very short. And so, can you use number 9? That's why I think Maui Goa sitting there is a much bigger option than people may realize, because offensive tackles, Trent Williams is 37 and negotiating another deal with the 49ers. Like, if you're truly, like, you're definitely going to play into your 30s, unless you blow your Achilles the way Eric Fisher did, and that he never did really recover from that. But and Mitchell Schwartz had a back injury. There are injuries that can limit you, but there are many more 34, 35-year-old offensive tackles playing at a high level than there are corners. So
we would take Eric Fisher at number 9 in a heartbeat right now.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's what you're getting over on the right side with Maui Goa. I think that's the floor, is Eric Fisher caliber offensive tackle at on the right side, and maybe even higher, and a guy that certainly has the skill set. If for some reason Josh Simmons' knee pops and he's done, then you've got insurance over on the left side. So if the idea is to quote Jim, help Pat, that would help Pat.
The other thing is Sadiq. I just don't see that. He's 6'3", right, at tight end.
Yeah, I think he's 6'3", like 245.
Yeah, and isn't there some crazy stat about that no tight end under 6'5" had a 1,000-yard season or something like that? And
well, that can't. No, that's wrong, because Shannon Sharp was 6'3".
I guess in how many years? I guess is what I don't know.
Okay.
No one's never had one. I'm just saying in so many years that nobody's
interesting.
Had that.
That's interesting.
And so, I mean, 29, okay, and I mean, but once again, he's not going to block, right?
There are some that say they like his blocking. I've talked to some friends that are scouts, and they're not as bullish as some of the analysts are. One of the things you got to watch. This was interesting. Who told me this? But have you heard where Dan Orlovsky and I think it might have been, was it Sam or Jeff? Dan Orlovsky and Mike Tannenbaum are touting Ty Simpson as being a better quarterback than Fernando Mendoza. Both of those players are CAA clients, same agency that handled Trent McDuffie and Trey Smith. Do you know who else CAA reps?
No.
Dan Orlovsky and Mike Tannenbaum.
Wow, shocker.
Yeah. And I apologize if whoever told me that, if it's not Sam or Jeff, I think it was Sam, feel free to correct me on it, and I'll give credit to who it was. That somebody told me that like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense as to why suddenly they love them. They're hyping up one of their brethren.
Yeah, well, you'll wonder how many people have an agenda on everything that's being said. Of all the people that make comments about players, I wonder what the percentage is of the people that have an agenda as to being just actually making an assessment.
Well, it's why a lot of the guys that are the information guys, they're all their stuff comes from the agents, and you see them hyping up these guys like, oh, so and so just got an excellent corner. You go look at it, it's like he's played for 4 teams. He's been only a special teamer. He's been cut 7 times. It's like, okay, I see what it is. He's got the same agency that reps this guy, right? Like, you see what's going on. Look, on the Sadiq thing,
I think the number 9 pick. I think the number 9 pick is a tough pick.
I do too.
I think they need to trade back because look at all these things. All these guys we're talking about at 9. It seems like everybody doesn't think they're worth the 9th pick.
Yeah. I think they all seem to have a flaw. Ted, whether it's Reuben Baines' arms, Carnell Tate, I'm going to let you go because I'm running short on time here. I apologize. We don't have more time, Ted. Carnell Tate's 40 time. There seems to be some, or it's it's a safety, and the positional importance isn't there. They all seem to have some chink in the armor at number 9. I do agree, and I think that's why Brett Veach called it a, quote, weird draft.
All right, what college basketball matchup has happened the most times in the Final Four? Brought to you by Twin Peaks.
There can be only one, Pete. We're chatting here. We weren't paying attention, and Kyle didn't alert us.
No, he did.
He did?
He waved his hands and
After
did
we
the
were
headphone
already,
thing.
that
the music needs to go longer on that.
We need to make that longer, Kyle. Make
That's
a note
called
of that.
There Can Be Only One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're sitting in here. We're ready to go. We're just chatting and catching up, finding out how.
Let's keep the conversation going.
Let's not. Let's not.
It's the first time in a couple of
I
weeks
did,
we've all been in the same room.
I did tell you, Pete, that I will tell you that myself and my friend Dennis each won over. How much you got to win before the IRS hits you?
2000.
We had a nice little toss at the crap table.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
For you guys.
Can I just tell you that in Scottsdale, the casinos charge you for beverages?
Oh, do they?
Cheap. So, do they do that now
I
here?
thought they stopped. I thought they stopped that everywhere, damn near.
No, they never had it. They started it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't think you get charged here if you're playing. I don't think so.
Yeah, we were playing and they were charging. I was like, you gotta be kidding me! Like that took a minute. That set us back.
Well, what about Vegas? Do they? I mean, it used to be free.
They're free if you play, but even they're starting
Are they?
to become a hassle.
Yeah, well, when Hughes stole, that was it.
We'll give you a drink ticket. Here's your drink ticket.
They don't show up very quick either. If you lose money
Lose
fast,
hundreds,
you're
lose
done.
thousands, and I'll give you a drink ticket.
Oh, great.
We were at the Super Bowl. We sat there
Jackasses.
for 20 minutes that one day, and I got my brains beat in, and I barely got a beer out of it.
Oh no, they are insufferably slow. But at least when the waitress comes over, she's got an attitude, so that's always good.
Well, the bad thing about it, when the mob left Vegas, free drinks left too, and that's bad.
That is bad.
That was not good.
Yeah, bring back the
And so
mob.
did the freebie meals and everything. That's what the mob was great about.
The mob fed people is what you're
Yes,
saying.
they did.
Okay.
Fed them good.
Yep.
God bless Meyer Lansky.
Most of the buffets are closed, and the ones that are open are like $100.
I know.
Good deal.
That's what I heard.
Because one of my buddies works in the casino
Really?
industry, and we were talking about that too. After
man.
me and Dennis came home with our giant winnings,
Well, I don't
massive
blame you.
winnings that are well below the IRS number,
Well
as far
below.
as you know.
How's Phoenix? Sprawled out, everything still?
Hot
This is
as
Yeah.
rats in a wool sock.
Snake's butt in a wagon rut.
Yeah,
It's a hell of a mess.
couple of rats, wool sock, being
Kansas City
fastidious.
in July on the
Yeah,
AstroTurf.
it was 100 degrees
Really?
while we were there. Yep.
People still moving there, aren't they?
There's no shortage of people.
Yeah.
It's a
I will
dry
tell you
heat,
that.
though, so it's, probably felt like 60.
I think I'd rather go to maybe Tucson than Phoenix if I was going to move
Okay.
to Vegas or Bisbee.
Okay. There you go. Flagstaff is nice.
Flagstaff is
That's
nice.
more
It's
mountainy
cool.
and cooler
Yeah, it is
and-
cool
yeah.
up
Snow,
there.
yeah.
You get snow and stuff, so yeah.
But it only has one road going in and one out. That's the bad thing.
You don't have to
about it.
leave. You stay.
Well, you really don't.
Are you planning on having to shoot your way out or something? Is that a problem?
He might.
We've got Enoch hemmed in.
He's in Flagstaff.
It's in the
We
posse.
got him.
All right, let's play a little There Can Be Only One. You boys ready? Mm-hmm. All right, we'll start with this little college basketball. Pretty simple. I don't know who's up. Do we know who's first this week?
No, no.
All
Start
right,
with
well,
you.
We'll start with Curtis.
Start with Curtis.
Sure.
That's right. After he took that unnecessary shot at me earlier.
Yeah.
We'll make
My
Curtis
bad.
go first. Who wins the national championship, Curtis? Is your champion still alive from your bracket, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
I think. Brackets. I'm going to say.
How do you not know your champion on your bracket?
It's either Michigan or not Michigan. It's Arizona. So they are alive, but I'm gonna say Michigan.
He's going to jump ship
I'm gonna
right
jump
here
ship.
because he's never been a man of confidence. Todd
My champion was up 19 on Sunday. The things fell apart on him.
went bye-bye.
Yeah, I went bye-bye.
Dookies.
I'm the kind of the same. I do think Arizona's the best team, but Michigan right now is a machine offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Michigan.
All right, Pete.
Can't see a grown man cry. I'm going to take UConn.
Okay. What? Is there a connection there?
Well, I don't know because my team, I took Houston. I'm well out, and so I don't know. I'm just going to be. Everybody
Okay.
took Arizona. No, I'm taking UConn.
Okay, Kyle.
Arizona, give me the Cats.
There you go, Kyle. Yeah, I took Arizona before this thing started, and I'm not backing down now. And you guys jumping ship to Michigan makes me feel all the more secure
But
about Arizona.
we are rooting for Illinois.
We are rooting
Yeah.
for Illinois. By the way,
that would be nice.
Keaton Wagler is going to join us tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, that
Shawnee
was-
Mission Northwest,
That was
star
just-
guard,
that was
Illinois.
heaven, wasn't it?
Oh, it's great watching
man.
him play.
K-Dub.
They're a fun team to
Good kid,
watch.
too.
Oh yeah,
They're a
and
fun
he,
team to
boy,
watch.
the kid. And now I know it's a little premature for them to say he's a lottery pick. I don't.
No, he's a
People are
lottery
saying
pick.
that.
I think he's
Everybody's
definitely
really
a
think
lottery
he
pick.
is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yep. I
I
think he's
don't,
about
but-
six or seven, 6 to
Is
10.
he that tall?
No, he's 6'6", but is what they list him at, which means he's probably 6'4" and
Okay.
a half, 6'4" and 3/4.
Do you think he's good enough to be a lottery pick?
Yeah,
He's playing like it.
yeah.
All right. Well, he
Strike
sure
while
is.
the iron's hot.
I think he can play.
Averaging 18 a game in the best conference in the country.
A listed
right now.
six. I think people are going to look at him and they're going to be like, okay, he's a better shooter right now than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He's not the knife to the basket that Shea is, and he's not as tall, but he's pretty tall. And if this guy can run our point, like I like it. Yeah, I think.
Well, I'll
I
tell
think
you
he
who
goes
I
high.
had a
He
little
is
talk with
poised.
Lucius Allen the other night on the phone out in California, and he said he's a good-looking kid. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's coming from the
High
best
praise.
I think that ever came out of Kansas City.
Yeah.
So
All right, so there it is. 2 Michigans, a UConn, and 2 Arizonas. Who leads the Royals in innings pitched this year, Todd? Last year, do you know who it was?
Lugo, no,
Nope.
No,
he was hurt.
Waka?
that's right.
Michael Waka, 174.
Yeah.
I think was the number. Michael
Who's
Waka
the last
led him
guy
last
to go
year.
200, Soren?
Oh, that's been a bit.
Probably
Did
Zach.
someone do it in 14?
Lugo did it. Lugo
probably
did
did in
in 24.
Yeah, 24,
Lugo
that's
had
what I
like
meant.
210, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, they had a bunch of guys start 30. I'll say this year, Bubich.
Oh, wow.
That's a weird one, isn't it?
Has he ever finished a year?
No. This is
Okay.
the one, though.
But that means he's fresh.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Boobs.
Okay.
5 and a third per for 33 games.
By the way, what a great nickname.
Let's go good.
If those guys, when they hit the town on the road, aren't hollering across every bar, hey, Boobs! Hey, Boobs!
Or they're going to go pick him up. Hey, let's go see Boobs.
Yeah, let's go. Who? Hey,
Where are you going?
Somebody
We're
go
going to
grab
pick up-
Boobs.
We're going to pick up Boobage. What are you talking about? What's on your mind?
Why were
Mr.
we not
Filthy?
on that sooner?
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
know.
a thing.
Well, who's going to lead the team in innings?
I think I can't
Walker?
bet against the Cowboy. I got to go Lugo.
Seth Lugo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marlboro man Seth Lugo.
Okay.
What
That's
a name
probably the
for a
best
cowboy.
guess.
Okay. Cal.
Let me go Noah Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
How about Noah Cameron? Oh, everybody's talking about my demise. Here's 5 and 1, 5 innings, one run.
Something like that.
Wasn't that what he was last night? He was better than the bullpen. I know that.
Yeah.
That
I had
run
some-
was superfluous,
I think
obviously.
it was Jeff I was talking to out at the stadium this morning when I went out to hear Q, and he's very concerned about the bullpen.
Because one's out now.
Well, because last night they gave up a bundle, but it was also with a huge lead.
12-1
right.
lead.
Yeah.
Jeff Montgomery's always said it's tough to go focus when you're
Yeah.
rolling
When
big.
you're up 12-1, you do hope you don't have to go to Lucas Ursay.
They were. I can tell you that Matt Quatrero went out there not a happy man
Yeah. He was,
to have to go get Urseg.
yes.
When Urseg was up, I'm like, he's coming in. Quatrero's pissed now. He's had
It's
it.
over with.
Also, you
Like-
don't get him up and get him hot without
Exactly.
using him.
Exactly. He's coming into this game.
Yep.
I said that in my house, to which nobody cares.
Nobody listened? Nobody
No.
said,
You realize you've
oh,
been the
you're
person
right.
there.
You're right, Dad. Good
My
point.
wife and daughter are like, yeah, I think so too. I think they're like, yeah, whatever. What was that, Mom? I don't know. Dad's over there mumbling to himself. I have no idea. Okay, so now we're to me. I'm on Seth Lugo. I thought I was going to be the only one on Lugo, but Lebo screwed it up by pointing out that he had 200 innings in 24. Curtis, where are you on?
Lugo.
Lugs.
Every time I had that entire
Lubes and
trip
lubes.
since I was last, I would go through every name. Oh, I don't like. No, every guy I pick in my mind has some issue that could happen, but I'll take Lugo.
That's called Major League Pitching.
I
Yes,
I do think
exactly.
we need like a special promo. Curtis works up with a new buddy cop drama, Loogie and Boobs.
Lugs and boobs.
Loogie and Boobs.
Lugs and Boobs, that's not
Yeah.
bad either. Lugs and Boobs and Pray for Rain, isn't that, the
Then
new?
Friday on an all new Loogie and Boobs.
Loogie.
My poor man.
Why is it if
Danny
I
Dark.
said that, you'd say, no, cut him off, cut him off.
I can't say that out loud.
Let's see.
What's a loogie?
Put an S on the end of the first one.
Yeah. Move along.
I won't tweet it either, but that's strong.
On a very special Loogie and Boobs.
Yeah. Boobs. We got to stop. Let's go.
Let's go.
Goes
Move
fast
on.
up.
Huh?
You know, why does everybody else get to say boobs and I don't?
Well, you can say
You
it.
can say boobs. That's it. That's all you can
That's
say.
all?
Now we're moving on.
Boobs.
Let's go to Pete. You're first up on this one. Kenneth Walker will account for how many yards from scrimmage?
We're talking about passing.
We're
Receiving
receiving
and
and rushing.
Okay.
And so I will let you know that Kenneth Walker, with the Seattle Seahawks, played 4 years. His yards from scrimmage, I meant to put this on the sheet. I didn't do it, but here it is. His yards from scrimmage were 1215, 1164, 872, and 1309.
Okay.
How many
He's
yards
going
from
to top
scrimmage?
it all. He's going to go 1460 this year.
1460. Pete, did you see the big computer program he was using to get to that answer? I thought that was
It's in his
impressive.
iPad over there.
That's right. We go to Kyle.
Give me 1250.
1250. That is not a $15 million player. I think he's going to do better than that, but I don't think he's going to do what people think. I think he's going to be in the 1200, but I think he's going to be like 500 receiving. Put me down for 1644. Let me put the comma in the right place.
That's a pretty good
There we go.
chunk.
He better be.
Yeah.
He better be.
Kind of want to change my answer now.
Why is that?
Because I feel like I way undershot it.
No.
Can he change? What's the ruling?
No, it can't change.
You can't change.
You're done, Kyle.
You can't change. You're done. That's you got to take your turn when you're up.
Yeah.
Is
And then when you hear the adults at the table talk the real talk,
Yeah.
you're too bad.
as his open says, I'm a hard ass.
Yeah.
I don't
And I couldn't tell you, I couldn't change Missouri from 4 wins
That's
2
right.
years ago.
That's
He's,
right.
he's still mad about it.
It's like, yeah. Curtis.
I'll say 15-10.
Okay.
Ah.
There you go.
Hot talk.
The
15.
team.
There you go.
Lebo.
1380, but don't be alarmed. Doesn't play the last game. Don't need it.
Okay, all right. I like that. All right, we did the men's. Who wins the women's Final Four? I'll give you some stats here. UConn is a 6.5-point favorite over South Carolina in one game. Texas, a 1.5-point favorite over UCLA in the other. Odds to win the tournament, UConn minus 160. South Carolina plus 550. Texas plus 550. UCLA plus 600. We are to Al?
Read those off for me one more time.
Which ones? The game odds or all of them?
All of them.
UConn, South Carolina, Texas, UCLA.
Yeah.
I'll give you a stat. UConn hasn't lost. That's important.
The UConn is undefeated.
South Carolina
Has lost twice,
has lost
or-
and 3 times. 2 of those were to Texas.
Yep.
And UCLA has lost once. That was to
Texas,
Texas.
yeah.
And Texas lost a couple of weird ones. They lost to
Yeah.
someone else. UConn is by far the best.
UConn, I would agree, but they're a 6.5-point
Yeah.
favorite, not a 12.5-point
No,
favorite.
they're
6.5 over South Carolina. Texas is 1.5 over UCLA. By the way, that Texas UCLA game came right down to the wire when they played earlier this year. And then the odds to win the tournament: UConn's favorite against the field, minus 160. South Carolina plus 550. Texas plus 550. UCLA plus 600. So the other 3 are kind of
Yeah, the same.
in a bucket. So where you want to go?
Horns up. Give me the Longhorns.
Ooh, Texas.
Wow.
Okay. Texas is the first team I eliminate because of all the success they've already had against them.
Yeah.
They're out. They're losing to UCLA, I think. I think it'll be UCLA and probably UConn, but never bet against. I mean, the player of the year's on UConn, but South Carolina's so good. I hate it. I'll take UConn. I hate that. I don't mind the UConn women near as much as I mind the UConn men. Somebody beat their ass.
By the way, I saw a chart. They're the only Division I program that spends more on their men's and women's basketball teams than they do on their football team. The only
They barely
There's
play
a
football.
reason for
Yeah,
it.
but
They barely play
but there are a
football.
lot of teams that are kind of like it's also.
You mean as far as their roster?
Yeah, it's also
Or
I'm
just
not
the
sure
cost
if
of the
it's-
program.
Maybe cost of the program, but there are other schools that have similar
I bet their football players
imbalances.
don't
but
make any of that.
It's also the fact they put so much into their basketball. So it was
Stop
interesting. They're the only
stalling.
one. Probably not wise to bet against Dawn Staley, but it's even less wise to bet against Gino Auriemma. I'm not getting in front of that train. UConn.
Okay, he's on UConn as well, Lebo.
South Carolina's fine, but UConn is better than all of them. They beat them by 30 points last year in the title game or something. And this, by the way, it's the same Final Four as last year.
I know.
Yep.
It's
First time since '95.
UConn is they're it. I'll be shocked if they don't win this thing.
Okay, Pete.
UConn would be 5.5 against the K-State men. So I don't know. I saw.
Why are you
UConn
selling UConn so short?
Well, I saw UConn play the other night, and when you only mention Elmer Fudd's daughter once, you're doing pretty damn good. I can't bet against this team.
So you're on UConn.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right. At what pick number? This is for Kyle. Did you go first on that one?
I
It's for
did,
me.
yeah.
At what pick number will the second quarterback drafted after Mendoza go? I don't care who it is. Figures to be Ty Simpson. Where does he go in this draft? And I am going to take. Hang on, I've got a mock draft open here. So if anybody has any questions, just got to find the right.
I guess I should just
tab.
look at the teams. that need
That's the
quarterback.
baseball. Where did I? There it is. Okay, I will go. Who the Dolphins get? They get Malik Harris. Are they
Willis.
the ones?
Malik
Malik,
Willis.
well, same thing. Doesn't matter.
All
Not
the
much
same.
different.
Caleb.
Not much different. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 11. Is gonna be my answer. 11 to the Dolphins. Doesn't matter who. Just pick number is all we're looking at. So I'm gonna go number 11. Curtis.
Let me see. I think before that, I was trying to get this thing coming up.
16
I
is the
think he'll
Jets. If you're looking at that, I'll give you here. You
I'm
want
gonna say-
before or after the
No,
Dolphins?
I've got it in front. I
Okay.
It took a while to pull it up there. Yeah, I'll go. I'll go. I'll go 11 as well. I can't see anybody else in the next 5 or 6 picks that needs a quarterback.
Okay. Lebo.
I'll go wild. How about 13 to the Rams?
Okay.
For the next quarterback.
That's not bad. That's a good one.
Not bad.
Pete, you want the
I'd
teams?
I'd like to say in the second round, but
Well, say it.
because he's not that good. I'm going to take him at 42.
42. Okay. That's happened.
It has. I mean, I just don't think he's that good a ball player.
He'd be
Okay.
going to the Saints at 42.
Cal,
34, Arizona.
34 to the Cardinals. Okay.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate that.
You got somebody joining you in the
I
second
don't
round?
look quite as moronish.
Well,
now.
you could be a genius if you're right, though.
Yeah.
You look that much
Using-
smarter.
Using the word moronish didn't help.
All right, he's back, but for how long? I heard Jason Anderson pontificate today, saying, "I don't think you come back unless you're coming back for 2 years." I just cannot get my arms around that
Bill's
logic.
elf.
Bill Self is back at Kansas, so I'm just gonna say, when is Bill Self done at Kansas?
We've had this so many times.
I know.
It changes all the time.
I'm gonna say after the 26-27
27.
season.
Okay.
I would not even first. Curtis is first. But
Yeah.
I'll give you a little peek under the covers. That's where I'm going.
I think that's true. I think this season is going to be about. I'm feeling all right. The doctors say it's okay. I'm on the edge. I'm going to try it one more time, but I think it's sometime between now and next April. Something is going to happen that's going to make him say, "All right, I tried this once. I can't do it. I'm out."
I don't think he's in it for. I think he has the wrap up in mind. I don't think this is just. I want to coach forever. I just need to keep getting the green light. I don't get that sense from him at all. One of the things he said is, "I want to get Kansas back to where they've been." And I think with this next class, he has a chance to do that, and I think he will walk.
I can see him.
once that's
I
done.
can see him at some point this next season going. I probably should have said no.
I also think at 63 years old, the health ain't going to get better. I mean, I think he's doing everything he can. He still missed a game this past
I know.
year. So,
Yeah.
You know, your heart doesn't usually repair
Yeah.
itself.
Lebo,
He's fixed. 2030. I'm just going. Let's just go.
2030. Okay.
I've been up and down on this so many ways. I'll
like
just
it.
go the other way now.
All right, Pete.
One more full one, then it's done.
Okay. All right. So you're the same as me and Curtis.
Kyle.
Kyle?
Never.
I'll say 2 years.
So you'll
He's
say
got this year and then one more.
after
28.
27, 28.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And so, Lebo, you are after the 29, 30.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm not trying to.
Me and him together. We're going.
Oh, is that what it is for you? That's good to know. That's breaking news right there. Todd Lebo calls it quits. All right, here we go. How long until we have fully automated balls and strikes? Till they're done screwing around with the challenge thing, and we get fully automated balls and strikes.
What
Todd,
it should be tomorrow.
how long until?
Tomorrow. I think we're within 2 years.
So
I'm sitting there watching. I'm seeing 2 pitches in a row, challenged and wrong for the umpires. It is so simple. They have the ability to do it. It's not going to be next year. Give me, the 28
To start the
season.
28 season?
Start the 28 season.
Okay, I asked Mac. We'll play this in the 5 o'clock hour, but I asked Matt Cottrero what his reaction has been to the ABS so far and what surprised him and everything like that. We'll play that a little bit later on. But okay, start of the 28 season for you, Pete.
Get things cleaned up a little bit. I think it'll probably take 2 years. So, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Start of the 28 season. Okay, Cal.
I'll say 3 years.
Start of the 29 season. I will take the 28 season as well. Kay.
I'll say 29.
Okay, Curtis goes 29. I think if we're wrong, if 28 is wrong, 27 is the right answer.
Yeah.
I think they may do it next year.
Season or
'Cause they're
not,
getting their ass
lockout or
kicked.
not,
Yeah.
People are like, whoa, it's like 50-50.
No.
That's not good.
Yeah, right.
No.
And it's not 50-50. They're winning
Yeah.
at a higher rate than I think it's about
Yeah.
close to 60%.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're
It's
winning.
50-50 through the years. There's trouble.
Yeah.
And the longer it goes, we'll get more data. I'm very curious what it is when the catchers do it as opposed to the batters. Because
So far, I saw that stat early after like the opening series, like the first weekend. Catchers were at like 15. I was shocked at how low it was. It felt
We've
to
been
me like
watching Salvi.
well, we also hear all the, you hear when the Yankees go 5 for 5 and 10 of 11 over,
Yeah.
a couple of games. But Matt Cottrero pointed out somebody had burnt both theirs. They went 0 for 2. And
Oh,
were
the
done in
Braves
like
did in the first inning.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's terrible.
So there are the bad ones as well. So, all right, last one. What will Jack Caglione's final batting average be this year? Where's he at coming in today? He was at. Oh, I know where he was. He was at 357 coming in today. 157 is what he was last year. Who had first call on that? Lebo did. Pete, you're up.
238.
238. That's not bad. That's a good number. Kyle?
Give me 257.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I'm going to go 245. 245. Where are you, Kay?
250.
So you said 257. Kyle, go 258. That means I got.
Why didn't you push that joke all the way to its limits and do what he actually says? 350.
I couldn't do that.
Okay.
He goes
Lebo?
hitting 350.
258. I'm just squeezing Kyle out.
Oh man, Lebo,
about that?
what a jerk you are.
I'm the worst.
258. I don't know why I'm getting a call. I'm not answering the call. Stop.
Take the call live on the air through your laptop.
I don't know you. I'm not answering. There it is. There can be only one. It is time for a little Stump the Chumps, brought to you by our friends at Big O Tires. You know, they're the team you trust. With 13 locations around the metro, Big O Tires always has you covered. Now through April 12th, save up to $160 on select sets of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Perfect time to replace worn-out tires is right now. Rain on the roads, heavy rains. You want to make sure you got the tread on the tires. Plus, Big O Tires offers expert service on brakes, alignments, oil changes, and more, all with convenient financing options available for any budget. We'll give you a free oil change with Big O Tires, the team you trust. If you send a Final Chumps question to Kyle, send it to Kyle at 810WHB.com. If we use it, you get a free oil change at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The program with Soren Petro.
Did you Google it?
I did.
What does it say?
The testicles.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up. Are you like me? Do you love watching games? Do you love having more than a rooting interest on a game? I do. That's why I downloaded the Underdog app. That's why I play on Underdog. Right now is such a great time. We got college basketball wrapping up, the biggest games, all kinds of players to choose from. You know, we got our local kid, Keaton Walkers. He's going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, assists. You can play it on Underdog. You can do it right now. Just you got to download the app. Download that app, by the way. Use promo code Soren. And you can score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Download the app today. Use promo code Soren. Score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, that's SOREN. You can make entries, win money right now in Missouri on all the hoops and the baseball too. That's right. You can get it on the baseball as well. Get all your entries right. You can even win up to 5,000 times your cash. It's all at Underdog. So whether it's, going higher on Vinny Pasquantino hits, whether it's going maybe higher, like I said, on Keaton Wagler's points, it's all right there on Underdog. So download the app today, right? Use promo code Soren to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. At Underdog, make plays, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/plain get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpggambling.org.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're
What? Taj Bradley's not in my lineup.
Nice work.
Oh, boy. Awkward.
Buxton just got an RBI. Is he
Awkward.
Is he getting a little long in the tooth, or is he
Older
He's
than
not.
you think.
He's not young anymore.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
just wondering? Just wondering.
Yeah. Well, it's okay to wonder. It's good to wonder.
It's okay
That's
to.
all I can do anymore.
32.
Baseball.
The time for a little Stump the Chumps. Brought to you
Bye.
by our friends at Big O Tires. We'll give you a free oil change if you provide a final chumps question to Kyle at 810WHB.com. And you will be getting your oil change for free at Big O Tires, the team you trust. 13 locations around the metro. Financing available for any budget. They'll also pick you up and drop you off. Big O Tires wants to keep you safe on the roads. That's why they offer a free multi-point inspection with every service. Like I said, plus that free convenient shuttle. Pick up, drop off. Big O Tires, 13 locations around the metro. Always one close to you. Find the location nearest you. Book your appointment right now at BigOTires.com. That's BigOTires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Gentlemen, you ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Easy or hard? What do
Easy.
you want first?
Food.
Easy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Over easy.
All right. I came to feed. All right. So I'm just going to ask you for anyone. This is in honor of the return of Travis Kelce, with the exception of Travis Kelce. Anyone who has been drafted at the tight end position by your Kansas City
Lebo.
Chiefs. Todd Lebo.
Tone Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is there. Oh, hang on, let me get the scorecard open.
That was number one.
Lebo. Just
Tone-
any tight end.
Oh, anytime.
Any tight end drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. Tony Gonzalez is off the board. Curtis and then Todd.
Tony Moyaki.
Tony Moyaki is there. Well done. Back to you, Todd.
Ethan Horton.
Was drafted as a running back by the
Okay.
Chiefs,
There you
but
Take it. You'll give it to me?
I'm going to give it
That's
to you.
good.
I'm going to go ahead and give it to you because they list him on Pro Football Reference as a tight end.
Yeah, that's
So I'm actually going to give it to you.
Lebo.
Okay, we have Curtis and then
Yep.
Todd.
Walter White.
Walter White. Come on, Pete.
Enoch, yeah.
No, I don't have Walter White on here.
Enoch.
Okay.
I don't have Walter White's a buzzer. I'm sorry.
All right.
Fred Arbanis.
Fred Arbanis, yes. Good
Lebo.
job, Pete.
Curtis.
Todd.
Billy Baber.
Billy Baber, yes. Well done, Todd. Curtis.
Willie Scott.
Of course, Willie Scott was a first-round draft pick of the Kansas City
Drafted
Chiefs.
him
Number
in jail.
14 overall.
Lebo.
Todd.
Noah Gray.
Noah Gray is on the board. Yes, well done.
Did some dude. This
Curtis.
Jake O'Connell.
Jake O'Connell, 7th rounder in 2009. I don't know why that's the one you're
I don't
remembering.
either.
Good job.
There's another
Okay.
dude. Who's the guy? Lebo, the kid from Tennessee who hurt his back.
Yeah.
Curtis, get that guy.
Yes.
Just gave it to you.
Yes, he was in the same round, same draft as Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles.
Curtis.
Curtis.
Brad Cotton.
Brad
There you
Cotton.
go.
There you go, Curtis.
I give it to you.
Thank you.
I got you
okay.
there. He broke his back or
He was
something.
back in the
There was a
70s.
Lebo, Jake Brenningstool? Or was he a
He was
free
not
agent?
drafted. He was a free agent.
Did they draft one or not? Are they both free agents this last year?
Who?
The Chiefs.
I don't know. I got him
Name
sorted
him,
by
kid.
last name. There's a couple of guys. There was a central.
Lebo, John Hayes.
Jonathan Hayes. There you go.
nice. Good job.
Second round pick in 1985. Good job, Todd.
There's another dude back then. Some of those guys were
boy.
like Derek Walker was,
in
a
the
free agent
70s,
guy.
for God's sake.
5 for Lebo, 4 for Curtis, 1 for Pete is what I have. You didn't get Michael Allen,
Okay.
With 2 L's.
Hal Bedsole, Gary Butler, Paul Costa, James Folston, Tracy Green, Marvin
Tracy
Harvey,
Green.
a whole
Chris
bunch of other
Wilson.
guys.
So we should have gotten.
A whole bunch of other guys you've never heard of, and let's see, the ones that you probably should have gotten.
Chris Wilson was going to change the game.
How about Jared Wiley?
That Jared Wiley was
James O'Shaughnessy, Alfredo Roberts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
other
Elmore
kid-
Stevens,
this other kid last year
Morris
was,
Stroud,
She got
Oh,
Stroud.
man.
16.
6'10".
Jared Wiley.
Yeah.
Ever heard of him?
Yeah,
Heard of him.
And of course,
Barely.
Chris Wilson was
So
down at the
Walter
bottom.
White was drafted by Pittsburgh, unfortunately.
Yeah, there you
Nice
go.
job,
Bummer.
Curtis.
Okay.
All right, I will. I'll start Chiefs as well. This is something I teased earlier.
No, I should have. I had time. I could have gotten to this. Okay. I think I know what it's going to be.
23 times in the Brett Veach GM era, which goes back to 2017, the Chiefs have acquired, not drafted, acquired someone else's former first-round pick.
Petro. Does that by
Correct.
acquired, not traded, like free agency counts too,
Yeah,
right?
and yeah, any kind of
Petro.
signing.
Cam Irving.
Cameron Irving, yes.
Or who they drafted
Yeah,
with that?
Petro.
Okay. Oh, it's a person.
Sammy Watkins.
Lebo.
Sammy Watkins, yes.
Okay.
Todd.
Josh Gordon. No, he wasn't a first round pick.
Nope.
Lebo.
Yep.
Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius Toney, yes.
Oh God, how did I not get him?
Lebo.
Todd.
This guy
Petro.
that got Kyrus Rivers. So
Name?
yeah, I just said
Petro.
Sorry?
Kyrie Elam.
Yes.
Come on, I'm just giving everyone.
Petro. You said ever Chiefs or just under Veach?
Just under Veach.
Okay.
23 under Veach and 17.
Lebo.
Todd.
LaShawn McCoy?
No, he was before. Oh, no, he wasn't a first round pick.
I got 2 strikes. I got to watch
Petro. Oh no, he wasn't a first round pick either.
Lebo.
Todd.
Terrell Suggs.
Nope.
He wasn't a first round pick?
No, he wasn't under. He was.
He wasn't a first round
Is
pick.
it Arizona?
Terrell Suggs was it? I think you might be wrong on that. We'll check that
We'll
later.
check that one. I'll look that up right now.
Oh boy, why am I missing?
Missing a few from last year, some quarterbacks.
There's another one of those
Petro, Blaine
guys.
Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert is one of the quarterbacks.
Lebo. What's his name? Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Oh, good job.
Got a couple wide receiver a couple wide receivers of recent vintage, offensive tackle.
Petro.
Soren.
I can't remember his name.
Terrell Suggs is the 10th pick of the draft, first overall.
Wow,
Okay,
okay. So you get it.
I get a point.
Is that Veach or was that under
No, it was
Dorsey?
Veach.
It was 2019.
Another one of these.
Petro,
teams.
Melvin Ingram.
Melvin Ingram.
I was scared to say it because I've been gun shy.
I can't remember this.
Mike Edwards? No.
Nope.
Yeah.
You're close.
There was another defensive back.
You're close.
I got
yes.
3 points.
Petro.
Yeah, mine.
The wideout from Florida State.
You're done.
Tall, fat guy.
Kelvin Benjamin?
No.
Yeah.
Here's
He
the
was a
list.
first round pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it's too long.
Was he?
It's been 20 years from now. You've missed the time.
No, if
I'm
he
hard.
was- if he
Well,
was
there's
a
that
first-round
linebacker
pick-
that just got arrested from Ohio State. I couldn't
He
remember
was
his
a
name.
first round pick then.
Oh, yeah, Darren Lee.
How about
Darren
this?
Lee.
He's Damon Arnett, DeAndre Baker, Hollywood Brown,
Hollywood.
Taco Charlton, Morris Claiborne, Corey Coleman, Justin Fields,
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Melvin Gordon, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Hughes is the guy you
Mike
were looking
Hughes.
for, DJ Humphreys, Darren Lee, John Ross, Danny Shelton, CJ Spiller,
Danny Shelton was a first rounder.
CJ Spiller,
Spiller.
and Jerry Tillery.
CJ Spiller counts
That is a-
400 times.
That is a great question.
Oh, yeah, it was super.
I think I got 3 because we checked Terrell Suggs.
4 now that we got Terrell
All right,
Suggs,
listen
so
up.
26.
It's not often that I like a question and Pete genuinely loves it too.
Okay, now listen up. I'm giving you double points on this, okay?
Double points
But-
for what?
You can give me the school and the conference, but I want them kind of together. If you don't know them both right away, I'm going to give you 1 point. If you know them both, I'll give you 2.
Okay.
You'll see why in a second.
Okay.
Using today's Power 5, which is
Power 5 in football or
Basketball.
basketball?
Big
Big
12.
East is the 5th?
Big East is the 5th, ACC, SEC, Pac-12 10. I'll count that too, so it's actually 6. The
So
old Power
Pac-12
6.
back then?
Yes. Big 10 and the Big 12. Or
So not Big East, so that would be-
Big East is in it. There's 6.
Then that's
Power
6.
6.
Okay.
The power stuff before the Pac-12 died.
Get to the
Pac-12
question.
didn't.
So like,
I
so
want
like
you to
we're
tell
talking
me-
basketball. So
it's
like,
a non-power school to make the Final Four. Now listen, since 1991, and I want you to tell me the school. You get a credit for the school,
Right.
and if you can tell me the league too, I'll give you another
Petro.
point. Yeah.
VCU, Atlantic
VCU.
10.
VCU is correct, but they were
Curtis.
not in the Atlantic 10, so
Ooh.
you get 1 point.
Okay.
Pete
Butler.
Butler,
Petro.
and you want to tell me the league?
No,
I'll give
I'm
another
not going
point.
to.
Okay,
Can I tell
Can we
you can piggyback on his if you want.
Okay.
Horizon?
Horizon for that, Curtis,
Okay.
and you're in, Curtis.
Okay, then
for yourself.
I'll take George Mason.
Okay, you want to try
Colonial?
the league? Colonial. 2 points for Curtis. You got 3 on this.
Oh no,
Petro's in.
yeah, I'm up. Wait,
Back to
well, that's
91.
where I was
91.
going. I was going with George Mason, but I'll go Wichita State,
Wichita State.
and I will go. I think when they made that, they were still the Valley.
That's correct. 2 points for Petro.
Enoch, Loyola of Chicago.
Yep.
good.
You want to try the
Valley?
league? Valley. 2 for Pete.
Nice.
There we go.
How many more are there?
Lots.
Lots of non.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just a couple of years ago, 2 made it.
Curtis. Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Whack.
Yep. West.
No, Petro.
Oh.
West Coast
West
Conference.
Coast. All
Damn
right.
it.
So
That was
Petro
easy.
gets 1. Curtis
Nice
gets
one.
1. And they did it twice, but you went correct for another one.
Okay. Oh boy. Petro, UNLV, Mountain West.
Nope. Wrong league.
No. Petro, UNLV was in the Big West.
That's correct.
Curtis.
You had him 2 points.
UMass.
UMass.
Oh, good.
What were they in?
A10.
Yep, there
Yep.
you go.
Petro, Memphis
Memphis.
was in the 2008. They would have been in the. Was it called the American then? I'm going to try the American.
Buzz him. You got 1 point.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Fun question.
Like
Yeah, it is
3
good
years
play.
ago, 2 non-Power 5 teams were in there.
I know.
Last Cinderellas ever.
Curtis.
Yeah.
FAU.
FAU.
Oh, my God. Petro, Sunbelt.
No.
Oh, they were.
No, they
American.
weren't.
I don't know.
No, they weren't. Buzz him.
And
I think I
the
might
other
be
one
out.
was San Diego State.
San Diego State.
Mountain West.
Mountain West.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm done.
And we still. And how about this? Some of these are in big leagues now.
Yeah, I know.
Curtis.
Curtis.
Utah.
Utah.
Oh, that's-
What were they in?
Mountain West.
Nope. Buzz him. That's probably your third strike.
Yeah.
All right. So
Wait. Utah wasn't in the Mountain
they
West
were in
then?
the WAC then.
Oh wow.
So,
oh my
uh,
God.
Houston in the American in 2021.
I thought there was a Houston in there.
UConn won a title in the AAC
AC.
in 2014.
Damn it.
Louisville was in Conference USA in 2005. Marquette was in Conference USA in 2003. Cincinnati was in the Great West, the Great
92.
Midwest in
Great
92.
Midwest, yeah.
And you got UNLV, but you missed the league on that one. That was fun.
I know. I got it. I
You got it.
buzzed
You
back
ended up
in.
getting
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So there you go.
That was a
All
fun
right, Pete.
question.
What do you got?
Who's the only player who was?
I think you guys got a lot of points there.
Yes.
Who was the only player who was a major league all-star twice in 1 year and never again?
So back when they played 2 All-Star
Uh-huh.
games.
It was the
He made
40s
the-
or 50s or 60s.
It was 60.
Curtis. Bobulinski.
No,
Okay.
Never made it again.
Lebo, Ron Santo.
no.
Would have been like.
Ron Santo made several.
A lot.
all-stars.
I know this is not right, but I'm gonna try Mark Fedrich.
No,
That was the
he
same.
wasn't even around. He wasn't even born then.
I'm pretty sure he was born.
You don't know. What league? Do we know him
National
most
League.
at? We know him most as a National Leaguer.
Yeah.
We don't know him.
You
clearly.
know him. You
Oh,
know
we
him.
know
but
him.
He's got a pretty average name, but
Lebo Smith.
Joe Average.
close.
Petro
Lebo
Jones.
Johnson.
Close.
Williams.
Close.
Walker.
Close.
You're
Enoch.
out. You're out. No idea.
Stu Miller.
Stu Miller.
Stu Miller.
Blown off the
San
mound.
Francisco Giants.
Stu. Yeah.
Blown off the, exactly.
Stu.
Exactly.
Stu.
Got blown off the mound.
All right. This could end up being a rout here because I fear that Curtis may just blitz through this.
No,
but it's,
he'll fall apart. Come
but it's
Probably
topical.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just name me any of the 10 players who have scored the most collective points in their career in the NCAA
Lebo.
tournament. Lebo
Enoch.
first.
on. Glenn Rice.
Glenn Rice, yes.
Curtis.
I didn't rank him, but he's definitely on there. Curtis or Enoch,
Clyde
and then
Lovella?
Curtis.
Lebo.
Whoops, that goes there. Clyde Lovella. No, remember tournament games. They play more
Yeah.
tournament games now.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, Curtis.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No.
Le-
Yes, I'm sorry. Lou Alcindor is up here.
Lebo.
Yeah, my bad. You're good. You
Christian
got it.
Leitner.
Christian Leitner, obviously. Yes. Todd.
Enoch.
Lebo.
Let's try Lucius.
No.
Grant Hill play enough?
Grant Hill did not.
Wow.
Don't look at me.
Wow, I should be blowing through this.
Yeah, you should be doing better.
Well, I know I should.
No one goes back real far.
There's a senator.
Curtis.
Lebo.
Curtis.
Oh,
Alex
Bill
Caravan.
Bradley.
Who?
Alex Caravan.
Oh.
Alex Caravan. No. Bill Bradley. Yes. Well, there's one that's
Another
right,
hit.
well, one that's right under your nose.
Right under my nose.
Yeah. There's also
Lebo.
Wow.
Dan Manning.
Dan Manning.
Oh,
of
wow.
course,
Danny
for God's
Manning.
sake, you people.
Brutal.
Quick clock.
I did not clean
All
up
right,
on that.
you did not get Tyler Hansbrough,
Okay.
Elvin Hayes,
Oh,
Oscar
boy.
Robertson,
Oh, boy.
Ew.
Corliss Williamson,
Never nervous.
and 10th on the list,
that's
Drew Timmy.
Timmy.
That's a good question.
Gonzaga.
Good
I think you guys are going to do better than that.
Yeah.
Aye, so did I.
Oops, sorry.
You should be disappointed when
I
you
got
go
a
home
few.
tonight.
Well, I'm always.
All right, I'm not even home. I'm disappointed.
Straight to bed with no porridge.
Yep.
I was born disappointed.
They're ready to be hot porridge when I get home.
All right, what do you got, Kay?
28 answers. 28 schools have won at least 20 NCAA tournament games without
Petro.
winning a national championship.
Petro.
Lebo.
Tennessee.
Enoch.
Tennessee, yes.
Petro.
Pete,
St. John's.
St. John's. I think, Todd, you were... did you put-
Missouri?
Missouri,
Ay,
yes,
bastard.
23.
Petro. BYU.
BYU.
Was St. John's right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, BYU has won
said.
as many.
They haven't won 20?
Not
No,
according to this list.
They were, at one point, I thought they had the most wins without making a Final
Most
Four.
games, maybe, but not most wins.
Okay.
Pete,
St. John's is wrong.
you
No,
got St.
you're
John's.
right, Pete. I gave you your point.
You got St. John's.
You got it.
I know.
You're good.
Lebo.
I thought.
Ty,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, 43.
God.
They're
Lebo.
almost the most, Pete. I mean,
K-State?
Todd. Kansas State, 40.
Oh, my God. Right under my
Let's see.
nose. Petro, Texas?
Texas, 43.
Good job. Yeah.
Let's see. SEC schools.
Lebo.
Enoch,
ACC.
Southern Cal.
Iowa?
Iowa, 34. Pete,
Southern
Southern
Cal?
Cal? No. Let's see. SEC,
Petro.
ACC.
I will try
Lebo?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State? No. Todd?
Houston?
Houston, 47.
Oh, my
That's
God.
the
That's
most.
right. They haven't, have they?
They almost do.
Didn't they win one?
There's one.
Lebo? Iowa
You
State?
may have some gear on one of them. Iowa State, yes, 26.
Drake.
I have gear. Petro, Arc.
And-
no,
Could
not
be
not-
anybody
Drake.
with Petro.
Could be anybody. I have lots of gear. I don't know. There's
Wave
buzz.
the
Let's
buzz.
go.
I was going to say, I was going to give you a chance to throw
No,
a
no,
number
no.
in, a name in there. Alabama,
Okay.
Auburn,
Yup.
Boston College, Butler, Creighton, here's your
Oh,
gear,
crap.
Dayton, DePaul, Florida State,
DePaul's, yeah.
Georgia Tech, Gonzaga, LSU, Memphis, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Temple,
That's a long
Texas
list.
Tech, Wake Forest, West Virginia, and Xavier.
I-
Forget how few teams have actually
Notre-
won.
Notre Dame
No.
won in 1920.
No porridge.
Count.
no, they
Yeah.
didn't.
That's what I mean.
No
was okay.
porridge for me because that was an awful showing.
That was not good by you.
Oh, my God. That was
I feel
terrible
all right,
by
though.
all.
Hot porch for me. All right, here we go. Baseball season's underway.
Okay.
I want you to tell me any major leaguer who has hit at least 75 home runs in their career in the month of April.
Petro.
Enoch.
Petro.
Oh.
Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron, correct.
Petro.
Enoch.
And Pete
Rudy
Sanchez.
York.
No.
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, yes.
Curtis.
Petro.
Curtis?
Willie Mays.
No.
Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod, yes.
Petro.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols.
He's number one
Enoch.
on the list. Pete?
No.
Jackson. Or was he already named?
No. There's no Jackson.
No, Reggie. Okay, Petro.
Curtis.
Sosa.
Sosa is in. Curtis.
Mark McGuire.
Nah.
Mark McGuire is in.
Petro. Rafael Palmeiro.
No Palmer.
Enoch.
Pete.
Mel Ott.
No.
Curtis.
They did not play very early back in the day.
Harmon Killebrew.
Nope, no Harmon.
Um,
The season started about the middle of April
That's
back in
true.
the day. These are mostly
Modern guys.
Curtis.
modern-ish.
Jim Tomey.
Jim Thome.
I was going to say him about 3 different times.
That's about
I
last
didn't do
time. Last one I can think of.
it.
A lot of these guys. have hit
Petro.
lots
Ed
of home runs.
Murray.
No Ed Murray.
How many strikes is that? 2 or 3 for me?
6 probably.
It's not
It's
6.
at least 2. It's 2 probably.
Enoch. Ted
Pete-
Kluszewski.
No. I just told you, Pete, you struck out. There's none of these old
Oh.
guys. I'm not giving any hints. I've already given enough away. There's some Hall of Famers here, though.
Petro. Miggy.
Miggy's there, yes.
Frank Thomas.
Ooh, good.
No Frank Thomas.
Ooh.
Rough starts for Frank.
Yeah, he was a slow
apparently.
starter.
I'm not giving you more hints. You got enough.
Petro.
know some
Ken
names.
Griffey Jr.
He's never
There we go.
5 on the list.
I
90.
He always gets forgotten.
All right, we did not get Manny Ramirez,
Oh, for
Gary
God's
Sheffield, Carlos Delgado, Dave Kingman on
Wow.
the list.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Trout, 75 and
I was going to
counting.
guess Trout, but I was like,
Adam Dunn,
Okay.
250 strikeouts probably, and Jeff Bagwell.
and Jeff Bagwell.
It's
Okay.
a fine list.
That is a good list. I like that one. All right, Pete, send us home.
Okay, it's an easy one.
Okay.
Okay. 6 players with 10 or more letters in their last name have hit over 40 home runs in a season. Who might they be?
Petro.
Lebo.
Kluzinski?
You just said that.
Who?
Kluzinski?
Kaczynski.
Kluzinski.
Oh, Ted
Ted
Kluszewski?
Who you just said, the name he just said.
Yes.
Oh, he did?
Is that who you're, no, when he was
No, but
guessing
you're
mine,
right.
is that
Yes,
you talking
Is
about?
that right?
Kluzinski, yeah.
Okay, so I got
Okay.
one. Did I get one right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lebo.
Curtis.
Carl Yastrzemski?
Yes.
Yes. Damn it. It's
40.
40 in a season?
40 in a season.
Damn it.
Lebo. Rodriguez have 10 letters?
No.
Close? 9 probably?
Petro. Killebrew.
Yeah, that's probably there.
No.
K-I-L-L-E-B-R-E. Oh, damn it.
Four more.
Petro.
more.
Fox.
How old we talking? Newerish guys?
Yeah, two of them are fairly new. Well, and one is, for damn sure, and another one is in the Hall of Fame.
Petro.
And you should get him. He was Italian, but I always thought he
Lebo.
was African American.
DiMaggio?
No.
Curtis. Eric Soderholm.
Lebo. Campanella.
Who?
Campanella.
There you go.
I got one.
Nice.
Campanella, you did get one?
Yep.
I got two. I got two total.
All right.
Who
You
else?
got three more.
We didn't get him.
Rico Petrocelli,
Okay.
Curtis Granderson,
Oh,
wow.
Edward Encarnacion.
yeah.
Very good.
Granderson was
Like
a
that
good
question.
player for a while.
Yes, he was. Let's see
What is
here.
the
I'm
score?
tallying. I'm tallying.
tallying.
I'm tallying.
I'm Italian up the points.
Okay. Pete has 600. Curtis has 1,600.
Jesus.
Lebo has 1,900, and I have 2,100.
You're in this game, Pete.
Well, I'm right
You're
in
in the
middle.
fight.
Don't mess around.
We've
Tom.
got it.
Bite me.
Just
This is
bet.
how you win.
What's
Be
our
smart.
final category? I'm tired of this.
Final four.
Final four. The final four. If we use your question that you send to Kyle at 810WHB.com, you get a free oil change at Big O Tires. You know who they are. They're the team you trust. Make your appointment right now. Go to BigOTires.com. Book your appointment at any one of the 13 area locations now through the 12th. You can also save up to $160 on select sets of Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. It's at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right, the Twin Peaks into the hour answer. What is the most common matchup ever in Final Four play? They have met 5 times.
Duke and somebody?
Duke and Kansas would seem they've met a lot. North Carolina, Kansas, Duke, Kansas.
Kansas, North Carolina, 5 times. Finals in 57 and 22. Semifinals in 91, 93, and 08. Kansas, 3-2 in those games.
Just gave away some wonderful La Feta Italian delicatessen. You can find them online at lafetadeli.com. Kansas City's great sandwiches are just waiting for you. Voted the number 2 new restaurant by the Kansas City Star. They're at 143rd and Metcalf right now. New location
Soon
coming.
to be.
Pretty good
Yes.
honor coming that
Second
fast.
Oh, absolutely.
Soon to be.
And already got a second location coming. Get it right now. Don't wait. Go to 143rd and Metcalf or order online at lafetadeli.com. All right, our category was the Final Four. Kyle, what is our question?
All right, Austin Carr holds the record for scoring the most points in an NCAA tournament game with 61. Who holds the record for the most points in a Final Four game? The record is 58.
Oh, God. I just looked at this, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You better get it, Pete.
No, but yeah, you're right. I should, but I don't think it's there.
Kurtis knows for sure. You jackass.
I'm rooting for Curtis.
I'm not.
Boy, boy, this is a killer.
Okay, what do you got, Pete?
I got nothing. I bet nothing. I got nothing.
600
I thought I
Pete.
knew this. Damn.
Let's go to Kurtis.
I bet it all. I have Bill Bradley.
Damn it to hell.
65
Bradley.
consolation game, I think.
Todd.
I put Oscar Robertson. But I bet
No.
nothing.
Shit, that's a
So, congratulations.
Second place for me.
I was gonna
Yeah,
put
second
Bill
place for
Bradley.
you. I put down Horner. I couldn't remember what the hell.
Who's that?
Who's second? There's a second place that starts with an H. I
Who's
think.
Horner?
I don't know.
Bob Horner?
I just threw it down.
Jack
I threw down a name, did not have
Little
anything.
Jack Horner?
Shot from the corner.
Bill Bradley. That's the worst.
He's
I've
answered
ever
twice
done
so
on this
far
show.
today.
That's the one you should have gotten.
I know it.
I'm
I
telling
know
you,
it.
I
I
just
know it.
looked at a thing, and all the photos of the top 5 are black and white. I'm like, this is an eating
And it's a
question.
I know
consolation
it.
game, so that's
Bill
garbage.
Bradley.
That's a garbage
Boy.
record.
God.
Second most is Hal Lear of Temple
King
in
Lear?
1956.
Kings.
Was that the real game or a
Temple?
consolation game?
Consolation game.
Temple.
Both of them were consolation
What's the
games.
most in the is Bill Walton?
44 for
I was-
Bill Walton.
That's what I started writing down.
That was-
21 out of 22.
Said the answer
Yeah.
was 58. I said I know Building scoring on 58.
Scored
Bill
44
Bradley.
without
That is
hitting
an
threes.
Total
No
embarrassment.
dunks.
Total.
Plus, his name was earlier in the hour.
Yeah,
You came up with it.
Oh, well.
you weren't going to win anyways.
What are you going to do?
Curtis
I
had
know
you.
it,
What are
but
you
I mean,
going to do?
Congratulations,
What are you going to do?
Curtis.
Thank you.
That's 2 in a row.
That is 2 in a row.
Yeah, and Pete had 3.
just winning
What are we
everything.
doing here, Petro?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
Winning.
Why?
What are we even doing
A couple
here?
of chuckleheads here.
Stop it, both of you.
All right, how many buzzer beaters with no time on the clock have been hit in Final Four play? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Second half of the program begins right now. We welcome the great Blair Kirchhoff to the program. He's brought to you by our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse. FrameKC.com. That's where you can find them online. 92nd of Metcalf is where you can see them in person. They are Kansas City's best when it comes to framing your sports memorabilia. Trust me, it's where everybody with the big collections goes, because they know Art and Frame is going to take care of your memorabilia. Listen, some people will like take your jerseys and then use pins to pin it down, try to make it look good. Art Frame makes it look perfect, but they never damage your jersey. Putting those holes in the jersey damages it, lessens the value. Protect your investment. Take it to the experts. For more than 25 years, locally owned and operated right here in Kansas City at 92nd and Metcalf is Art and Frame. Michael and the staff are absolutely fantastic. The only place I take my sports memorabilia is to Art and Frame Warehouse. Don't settle for good enough. Get it done right. Get it done at Art and Frame. Mention 810 when you walk in, and you can save some, get some major discounts on sports memorabilia, some custom shadow boxes. They frame it all, including bats, balls, Olympic torches, boxing gloves, and of course jerseys, photos. Protect your memorabilia with Art and Frame Warehouse. Find them online at framekc.com. Blair, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. Hope you are too.
Well, I'm annoyed by a fantasy website right now that didn't put my picture in, but you know.
Well, you should get some retribution on that.
You want to fight CBS Sports on their fantasy things? If anybody out there is been a longtime fantasy player, you've shared the frustration that comes with them at times. I'm going to start photographing my lineups and sending them to our commissioner, because I think Doug will love that. He'll love being inundated by. He commissions our baseball leagues. He's going to love, but I am every Sunday going to send photos of my lineups because I got screwed.
Yikes.
On a good start today from Taj Bradley. So
because it didn't acknowledge your move.
Bummer.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's just whatever. It just annoys me.
Well, I think you should take it out on Gary Parrish. Isn't he CBS?
Oh, I know. I was right as I said. I'm like, oh yeah, Gary works for them. Like, we do have one of their employees on. I like CBS Sports. There's a lot of good content on there, but sometimes their commissioner thing, which I'm sure it's much more complicated than I realized. But I did all my lineups on Sunday, set them all, and I didn't get. I looked down here at my live scoring, which my teams usually suck. So I need every decent game. Because we can change the lineups every day. I need every decent outing I get.
Can't waste one.
Especially when, let's see, on the injured list for me now, Jackson Holiday, Jordan Westberg. I took Michael Massey. I knew he was hurt, but I got him cheap. Trey Savage. Yeah, I need the guys who actually are on on the field. I need them when they play. So it's irritating me. So I'm not good, Blair. To answer your question, I'm irritated.
Well, I hope Kurtis and Kyle
I lost.
are better.
I lost to Kurtis because I couldn't remember that Bill Bradley has the biggest biggest Final Four game in NCAA tournament history.
And I didn't hear that.
You would have gotten it though.
Well, he was. It was a third place game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was against Wichita State, I believe.
It was.
Right? 64.
1965.
65. Yeah. What were the guesses? What were the?
I guessed Horner. There's like second place is a guy who begins with an H. I just looked this up because I was looking for I did a question, who are the 10 players that have scored the most career points in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
And so like the different things I was searching through, one of them was like biggest games. I kept coming up. And so I was looking through it. And like the top 5 guys are all black and white photos.
Yeah.
And then you finally get to, I think, Glenn Rice at like 42 is like 5th or something.
Yeah, maybe Jack Givens, Al Wood.
What's the list? Do you have the list there?
So this is
Final Four?
Yeah, Final Four game, most points by a player in one game.
Player in a game. It could be the semifinal, the championship game, or
the third place game back in the day.
Yeah. Bill Bradley won. Hal Lear of Temple. 2. Bill
Hal
Walton.
Lear, there's my age.
Your age.
That's what I was thinking of.
Hal Lear, Bill Walton, Bob Hubregs.
From Washington, 1953.
Gail Goodrich. 65 UCLA.
Yep.
Jack Givens of Kentucky in 78. Oscar Robertson,
game.
Cincinnati in 59. Al Wood, North Carolina, 81. Jerry West, West Virginia in 59. Jerry Chambers, Utah, 66. Freddie Banks, UNLV, 87. And 36, in 10th place, 36. 4 different players, most recently Rick Mount of Purdue against Carolina in 69.
Okay. So there you go.
Okay.
There you have it.
It's a good question. And pertinent for the moment.
For sure.
It's the best week to ask that question.
Yeah,
You know?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't want that one in October.
No. Why are you asking that? I don't know.
Sounds like
saw it.
Sounds like a plan to me.
How about career NCAA tournament career scoring? Is that still Leitner?
Let me
At the
see.
top?
It might. I will find.
Career scoring?
Yeah.
That tops is that was one of my questions.
Jabbar.
It is 407. Yeah, 407. Christian Leitner. I don't have them stacked in order. Leitner 407. Second is Elvin Hayes with 358.
Yeah, that seems right.
Third is Tyler Hansbrough with 325.
Came up. Manning's on that list. He's
Fourth is Oscar Robertson with 324. And then Dan Manning. Oh, no, actually, Dan Manning is 328. Robertson, 324. And then they're kind of lumped together. Let's see. Did I say Hansbrough at 325?
Yeah.
Corliss Williamson, 303. 10th is Drew Timme with 301.
How about that?
Bill Bradley, 303. Lou Alcindor, 304. So I had it sorted by last name. So
Yeah. Good.
But Leitner is at the top with his 23 games.
Right, he played
and 21 wins.
Because they lost in the semifinals one year. He didn't play in all 24.
He played all but one.
Right, it's incredible.
And speaking of Leitner and anyone who likes symmetry or irony or flipping around, UConn and Duke have played in the national in an Elite Eight twice. That there was one by a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Although this one was zeros in the clock.
Right.
Leitner beat Duke in 90.
That's right.
And they took them 36 years, but
to
UConn finally got payback because they didn't guard the inbounder, and Leitner passed it, took it hit the shot, because that was the 2 days after UConn had hit that crazy
Tate George.
Scott Burrell hits him catching. I think he beat
on the
Clemson.
It was a baseline jumper. Yeah.
And Eldon Campbell.
Yep. Eldon Campbell's in the lane just going, what?
Yeah.
Arms over his head. And 2 days later, they got beaten by a buzzer beater. I can't imagine that's happened many times. Back-to-back games, getting one and giving up one.
Right. No, that was.
And it would be 9 more years before they got to the Final Four. I think UConn.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. That wasn't the Final Four then.
Before they got to a Final Four. Yeah, they were right there on the doorstep.
That '99 Final Four
was almost a decade later.
Was their first one. Yeah.
And they were a 1 seed.
We'll come back to the tournament in a minute, but let's talk about the return of Bill Self.
I hear he's back.
That's what his letter said, and there's a little note on the tweet, which was preceded by them saying, "We're not doing April Fools."
Right.
Yes. Just make sure you people are paying attention out there. We're not doing the April Fools. And so then he says he's back. Are we surprised? I am.
I know you are, because I thought it was with pretty good foresight that you were talking about this a lot before a lot of people were.
I think the vibe around there has been that it's sooner rather than later. And so I kind of felt that coming in. And then I just thought his actions on the court looked like a guy who was just soaking it in. And maybe he was. And then his doctor's like, hey, you're looking good. It's up to you. If you want to go again, go again. And it could have been as simple as that.
Yeah, I think it came down to after he said what he did at the tournament in San Diego, when he put it out there, right, that this could have been his last team last season and everything. My guess, haven't talked to him, but my guess is he first had to decide whether he wanted to come back or not. If conditions were right at the university with the game, I didn't see him going the way of Roy Williams, Mike Krzyzewski, Jay Wright, guys that for different reasons, but kind of all under the same umbrella, left within a year or so of each other, and then we find out later they didn't like the way where college basketball really was. Didn't think they could exist in the current climate of college basketball. Once he got past that, I think it was just a matter of if his doctors said, whatever condition you have isn't going to be affected by coaching and the daily rigors of your job. I think that's when, and to me, maybe we'll find out later. Maybe he'll have a press conference at some point. But that to me is when it started leaning toward him coming back.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because you heard in the press conference for the Elite Eight game with Rick Barnes, I don't know if you heard his comments talking about how, well, in a lot of ways it's easier today. Said, I don't have to recruit a guy for 3 years.
Right.
He said, it's about 4 to 6 week process and we get our answer. And that's something that echoes what Bill Self said a couple of years ago when I said, well, do you like it how it is today? And he said, well, in some ways, he said, I like the fact that, with the portal, it's, it's an instant return. We don't have to chase forever. And Rick Barnes went so far as to say, it's like, well, what's the number, coach? Well, here it is. Okay, I'm in. It was kind of the gist of where he put it. And I think when you talk about, I think Roy relished the putting the time in.
Yeah.
Roy relished the relationship, and he realized that didn't matter anymore. It was just about how much money the university was going to give him for the roster. And so I think that's why he got turned off. I think Jay Wright got turned off because he was going to have money, presumably.
Sure.
Jay Wright, I think, got turned off because he recognized, well, Villanova's not going to spend what these guys are spending. And, if it's me, pitch and play for me, go to the league, learn basketball, I'll be a father figure to your kids. Like, I got that part down. But now that it's just like, how much? We're not going to spend because I think it's clear that Villanova's not spending
exactly
at the same level of other schools. And like Boston College, that was one of the things I read on not Larry Murray. What is it? It's an L.
Yes.
Luke Murray. Luke Murray. Bill Murray's kid who took the BC job. Left UConn for the BC job. They're like, they last year, I can't remember, it was 2.6 or 3.4 million is all they had to spend on a roster. Oof. And then like on the write up on Butler, they're bringing back Norvell, who's been coaching in the NBA, but is a former Butler player. They said, well, he should have an $8 million budget to work with for talent. Jerry McNamara comes back to Syracuse. He should have a $9+ million budget to work with for talent. They were putting these budgets down, and 8, 9 seem to be like the second tier, amounts. And the $24 million Kentucky job's not open. That's what they supposedly spent this year. So I mean, I think if you've got the money, it's actually probably less taxing on your health. Gary Parrish said, like, if you're a coach now, you don't have to jump on a plane after practice and fly to sit in the stands of a high school game so the kid sees you so he knows you really want him.
Yeah.
It's just,
is the money there?
You touch in, and then what's the number, coach?
Yeah.
And that gets it done. So in a lot of ways, it's easier if you can get your arms around that. But I think Roy relished the being in the stands and outworking.
Yeah, he used to talk about that he his two mottos were just, treat people the way you want to be treated and outwork everybody. That's kind of live by those. And
Gary Parrish told a story about asking him. He said, he said, you go to the Peach Jam and there's like the main stage and then there's all these other courts. And he said, the big courts were done and all the guys had gone to get lunch. And I went over to one of the smaller courts and Roy was there watching one of the, lesser teams, play. And he said, I asked him, well, why are you still here, coach? And, everybody else, the big names are all gone. He's like, Gary, I'll tell you what, because I know I'm a pretty good coach when I got really good players. I don't want to find out if I'm any good when I don't. And, I think that was a witty way to say it, but I think he was also like, I'm going to look, I'm going to find if there's a diamond in the rough, I'm going to find him. You guys go have lunch. I'm still here. I'm still grinding. I'm still taking notes. I'm still looking for that kid that you guys might be missing on and that I can get at the end. And I think that's now all gone.
I think also Self had to be satisfied that the money is still at Kansas, and they are going to be willing to spend what it takes to make sure they keep their.
Do you think in a few
happy.
years? I don't think we'll find this out right now because I think Bill Self's a complete pro and how he does everything. But do you think in a few years we might find out that's what this was, that the Bill of Health was always there, and this was like, I can walk. I'll make it easy for you guys. I'll just say it's my health, and we'll agree to part ways.
Yeah.
But if we're going to do this.
I wasn't going to lose Tyrant Stokes to Kentucky.
That football stadium looks great. Love what you're doing and everything, but let's make sure we take care of the moneymaker over here.
Yes. I think maybe that second Bill Self book will, may reveal something like that. Along these lines, and this is just kind of a random thing. I was scrolling through Twitter earlier this week, and there's a basketball coach at a small school who stepped down, who just resigned because I want to say that the school was Campbell, maybe the small school in North Carolina. The coach decided to step down because in his note saying the commitment's not there from the university. First year, and he wants to improve, and he said, I can't do it. I can't. They're not putting enough money into the NIL fund here at my university. So That is a real thing, and you know the and every it's become something, not so much an equalizer, but I think it's a pretty, it's obviously a big factor. It obviously is a big factor going forward, and in basketball, football, at the major college level, and I think for we mentioned Jay Wright earlier. I absolutely think that's part of what he was. The reason he's still not in the game, and he's at a.
If it was just that, he could have jumped to another school. But I mean, I don't think it was all that. But I think that was definitely a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think he wanted to coach anywhere else, and Villanova wasn't going to give him the money, so he's like, "All right, I'm out."
Yeah. Yes.
But
and timed it so that at the time his replacement would have been basically a hand-picked replacement, former assistant, who since has been fired because it doesn't ever seem to work out, which leaves me wondering, this moment in Kansas basketball leaves me wondering what direction they would have gone if Bill had decided to step down.
Well, we debated this as to like, well, can you read more into it? The longer it takes, is that leaning one way? I felt like the longer it took, the more likely it was he was staying.
I did too. That's my thought was too.
I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, I could sit here and act like it was because he ended up staying, but
I did think
I thought
that.
he was out too. So, but
I thought the decision to leave could have been announced in a couple of days.
I thought decision to leave would be, he did mention his health, and I think it's entirely possible that all this was just getting a physical, getting the checks. Tests have to be done, and tests take a few days for it to come back. Whether it's blood tests or whatever it is, I don't know enough. I just know that you when you get to be an old man, you always do a blood test before your physical, and they have you do it about a week out.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, if we're really waiting on the medical, then that would seem to take about a week.
Got to get the labs.
Yeah, get the labs back, right? So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But then we got past a week, and I'm like, all right, so everything should be back on that front.
Yeah.
So now, I don't know.
He took the trip to Dallas, ostensibly for second opinion or other get more medical information, and so that was all part of the equation for him as well.
Yeah. So he stays, and now how long does he stay?
Well, you and I've we had this discussion, and I remember saying that I think it was this year plus 2, and I'm going to stick with that. 2 more years. Next season, 26, 27, 27, 28. That brings him to age 65, and that sounds more retirement-ish as an age than 63. Isn't he 60? I think he's 63.
63 right now, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this plus, two more full seasons for.
I'm of the opinion that each year is his last year from here on out. But
it could be. It could be.
But and maybe it was this year, and it's like he felt better, and he's clearly he's lost some weight, and he's doing things differently, and maybe he's found out. He said he feels great.
Yeah.
Other than the one game he ended up missing because he went to the hospital. He obviously didn't feel great that day.
Didn't go to Colorado.
But he also pays attention to it now, and he's in tune with it.
Yep.
And he's listening to what his body's telling him, and he because he kind of tried to poo-poo it the one time, and he had to have everybody tell him, no, you need to go. Like, you're going to go. And now I think he recognized, okay, I got to, maybe he feels like, okay, I can manage it. I know the warning signs now. I have no idea. I mean, we're venturing down a road. We don't know. We're not doctors, so we're not qualified for that. But I think it's great for Kansas that he's back. But I do think that there needs to be, I think ideally Travis Goff and the administration would like to know what his plan is. Like, are we year to year? Because I do think you want to get after it. You want to know. And I think it is a tough spot for Kansas to be in, watching coaches get hired while they're waiting and then might have to go in. We did this. We did it with college football. We talked about how, years later we'll go back and look at all these guys are hired. They could have gotten any of these guys. Well, in reality, when you don't lose your coach for 2 weeks because you lost your coach to somebody else's job who was open, and then, 12 guys have already been hired. You didn't have a shot at those guys. Everyone's like, well, why didn't you hire this guy? Well, because he was hired before we even knew we needed to find a guy.
Right.
And so I do think it's a tough spot for Kansas to be in. I mean, it's just the reality of the spot you're in. But it's not ideal.
No, it's never.
If every year you're going to be like, well, we got to take 2 weeks after whenever we're eliminated and wait to find out what's going on with Bill. I don't. There's no other choice. You're not walking away from Bill's self. but it's not ideal. I do think that needs to be acknowledged by all parties as well.
It's not, but unless the grand plan is Jacques Vaughn as a successor, and the longer he stays on the bench, the more experience he gets in the college game, the more attractive he'd be, I think, as a successor. I think that's why I asked, a few minutes ago, which route Kansas would have gone, because it would have been pretty risky, I think, to elevate Jacques Vaughn and to keep the band together after last season with the experience that Jacques has had as a college, the lack of experience he's had as a college coach. Kansas, if Bill had stepped down, they'd have been in the same market right now as North Carolina, battling maybe over Dusty May or Tommy Lloyd, and waiting to see what happens at the Final Four, and maybe not being involved with either one of those guys who may end up staying at their schools. So I think the more years that Kansas logs under Self going forward, and that the coaching staff stays together, then it's more likely that the successor will come from the staff.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. But
is that smart?
I don't know, and I'm not 100% convinced of it. I just think it's more likely. Is it smart? That's in many cases it's not.
I had someone, I was not aware of this, and I have not confirmed it.
Not at North Carolina, anyway.
Somebody sent me an email and said that Tommy Lloyd's got a clause in his contract that if he has to sit out a year if he tries to go to a Big 12 school. I don't get how that could be. Somebody sent me that email because I had mentioned like Tommy Lloyd's a guy I'd call, and I'm like, I don't know how that could be because you have a buyout. The buyout buys you out. That's what it is.
No
like
restrictions
I
on
give
that.
you money and then I walk. Like you don't get to be like, okay, but you can't shop at this store. No, I'm out. That's what the check is for. I might be totally wrong. I might be totally wrong about that. I've just never. I don't think I've ever seen that in a contract. I mean, it makes sense why you'd want it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. I don't know any agent / attorney that would allow that to be in there.
Well, they would had to have put it in after he had become the head coach at Arizona because they were in the Pac-12
exactly
when he took over there.
I again, like I said, I had somebody email me that. I don't have any idea whether that's the case or not. But
that's like the old college transfer rule. If you transferred, you had to sit out a year, right?
Yeah. No. I do think the idea is that Kansas and North Carolina, if Kansas was going to be open and North Carolina is open, you go try for the best coaches doing the best job, and that's Dusty May and Tommy Lloyd, and then the guy who's the returning champion, or at least the unretiring champion, Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
And those are the three names that get thrown around at Carolina, and it seems like the consensus is Billy Donovan is going to be who they're zeroing in on. If they're going outside of the family, why wouldn't Kansas be trying to go outside of the family?
That to me, it's a great debate to have. Whether they, first of all, it's they don't have this opportunity except they would not have had this opportunity except for once in a generation, in multiple generations, really, right? So Bill's going to go into his 24th year. Let's say that's his final year. A quarter century since you hired your previous coach. Kansas just doesn't have a whole lot of experience going down this path. You could say Bill Self was in the Kansas family. Yeah, he was an assistant for 1 year, and that was the extent of his association with Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
It was as a not a volunteer, but a graduate, whatever that he was labeled.
Unpaid grad assistant.
Yeah, for 1 year, and he was part of the Kansas family, I guess.
Well, I've always said everyone, he had 1 year as an offensive line coach here. He can't wait to get back here. He grew up in this town, coached there for 20 years, and played there. Yeah, everyone if he's been through town. I mean, he once stopped and took a dump at a truck stop when he was passing through. I mean, he loved it.
And he said, if I ever get a chance to live the rest of my life someplace,
this is where it's going to be. It's like, all right, settle down. But
by the way, no fan ever thinks that about somebody else. It's just someone that they hope comes to their school.
No, he comes down. But if you've got a guy and they're like, oh, we're going to go, he'd never leave here. He said he wants his kids to graduate high school here. He's moved them 16 times.
Yes.
But now this is it. He's found a home.
He's dropped the anchor.
I'll tell you where his home is, where his checkbook is.
Where it should be.
He's at Bank of America.
Yeah. Like,
might as well be his address.
Yeah, but it's us. It's here. That's right. Oh, yeah, you're special. You are special.
That's what makes college sports what it is.
It is.
And the U, one of the first U, what Randall Hill was talking about when Jimmy Johnson came in and told me he was leaving to go to the Cowboys. He's like, we hated it, but it's an adult. It's business. It's all about that money. Randall said, I knew that in college about making that money.
Ben McCollum's name was thrown around. If Kansas was open after you went after the big guys, it's going to be Ben McCollum. I know he coached at Northwest Missouri State. That's not Kansas City. It's not far from Kansas City. But he was born and raised in Iowa City. Yeah, but he was near Kansas City, which is close to Lawrence. Therefore, he'd love to come here.
He is such a curious case as a candidate. We don't seem to see his name associated with North Carolina, or I don't think any other job right now, like we have in the previous years. But so successful and so established at the division.
He's a
II.
viable candidate, but it is not a completed resume to get the Kansas job.
No, it's not. But it's
2 years out of
it's
Division II, and he's ready for Kansas.
But
okay,
he's more ready. He would have been more ready for Kansas this year than if he had had this resume 5 years ago. And by that I mean, if you're if it's just the money that matters in terms of recruiting, give me the guy who can X and O it, and it motivates
and can
you.
build a team.
Yes, and
I don't know where Iowa's budget was, but I'll bet it wasn't the top one in the Big Ten.
I bet it wasn't.
But he also finished middle of the pack in the Big Ten and got in as a 9.
Yeah.
This isn't Bill Self taking Illinois in as a 2 and a 1 and a 3 and an Elite 8. I mean, and Ben McCollum may do that over the next 2 years. I think he's tremendous. I agree. I'm just saying, if you're Kansas, I mean, you hired Bill Self after an Elite 8 at Illinois.
Yeah.
And I think he was a 1 seed when they bowed out in the second round or the Sweet 16 when they hired him.
He had beaten Kansas a couple years earlier in the tournament. So, and took Tulsa to an Elite 8. So his bona fides were well established.
Yeah, absolutely. Blair Kirchhoff is with us. We'll talk more college basketball with Blair. He's brought to you by our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse, Kansas City's best when it comes to framing anything. Listen, they buy in bulk, so you get warehouse pricing, but gallery quality. That's right. They buy in bulk to keep the prices down, but they are the absolute best. True artists when it comes to framing anything you need, and they specialize in the sports memorabilia. Find them online at framekc.com.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. How many buzzer beaters with no time on the clock have been hit in Final Four play? Because some people call a buzzer beater, like what happened Sunday, was not technically that kind, a true buzzer beater.
Practically ended the game, but it didn't technically end the game.
Horn goes off during
the Villanova Carolina shot.
Yep. The Gonzaga UCLA
was
Chris
Jenkins, Jalen Suggs.
Yep.
Was you count Lorenzo Charles?
No.
The dunk? No.
They didn't count that. They counted it with.
That was it. That was the last play, though.
Yeah, but like the clock was still
the
going.
skill was still blinding after the ball was through the cylinder.
With 0 on the clock.
Yeah.
In Final Four? Probably just those two.
There are actually 5.
Yeah, nailed it.
Wasn't Houston involved in one?
No.
Okay.
The first one, 1963, Vic Rouse of Loyola against Cincinnati in the national championship game. Jerome Whitehead of Marquette against NC Charlotte in 77.
Charlotte. Cornbread Maxwell.
Yep. You missed. You got Jenkins and Suggs, but you missed the most recent one. Lamont Butler, San Diego State against Florida Atlantic in the semifinal in 23. Down 1 and almost ran out of time. You gotta get the shot up. Boom.
Maybe the last time we'll see school. Think of that national semifinal: San Diego State against Florida Atlantic.
Yeah. Well, that's the only one of these that happened with the team shooting the ball was down. The other 4 they were tied. This is the only one. You go home or you move on. There would be no overtime.
So the third in chronological order: Loyola, Marquette.
Loyola, Marquette, Villanova.
What year is Villanova?
Villanova 16
national championship.
Gonzaga 21, and then San Diego State 23.
Well, it's happened a lot more lately.
Yeah. There were 3 first time Final Four teams in 23.
Yeah,
and there's only been one first time team in the last 3 tournaments.
That 23 Final Four the national semifinal was supposed to be K-State versus Creighton, but San Diego State nipped Creighton and Florida Atlantic beat K-State at the Garden in that.
Miami won coming out of here.
Yeah, but God, I was so. I remember that was those games were Sunday afternoon. I was so pumped for the possibility of Kansas State Creighton in a national semifinal game.
Didn't get it.
No.
Did not get it.
Did not get it. Nope.
Never gonna get it.
And when you get the Elite Eight at K-State or Mizzou, it means you're about to be out.
That's right.
Yep.
So you have reached the end of the line.
You've reached the pinnacle. Time for you to go.
You cannot cut nets.
Guts to go right now. What do you think of our man Keaton Wagler? He's going to join us tomorrow.
Is he? Great.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
Looking forward to
fantastic.
talking to him. How about how that kid, 152 nationally ranked. Three
full stars by his name.
Yeah, the second biggest school, I guess I should say. I shouldn't say second best. What did I see? Was there I know Tulsa was on the list, but only Illinois.
And Brett Underwood never saw him play.
Yeah,
didn't even see him play. So
his son, he trusts his son. I think I saw his son as the lead recruiter on it, right?
Yeah.
At least it's another Underwood. I'm assuming it's his son.
Yeah. So great story. And how got to be thrilled for the kid, and he's really good.
Yes.
Gosh, just watch him play.
Top 10 pick.
Yeah. You know better than I would how his game would translate to the next level. Is he too thin?
I think it'll be interesting to see what his arm length is. I mean, because people don't remember Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is my comp for him, but he's a better shooter, but he's probably not quite the knife to the basket that Shai is. I think he's going to come up. I'd love to see what Shai measured. I think he measured barefoot like almost 6'6". I think you call him 6'7" or something in the league, but. I think Wagler's going to come in at like 6'4", 6'4 and a quarter, 6'4 and a half. But I think he can play the point. And, he's a really good passer. He's a better shooter, like I said, than Shai certainly was coming out of Kentucky. And
great court awareness for
a
freshman.
I saw him all 4 years at Northwest because every year 810 Varsity does a tournament around Christmas time there, and they're always in it. And I remember particularly the last 2 years, you just like everything seems really easy for him. Like there's no wasted movement. He always goes to the right spot. He passes to the right spot. He takes the right shot. Everything. You're like,
Well,
has he made a mistake all night?
I think that is what kept him from being ranked higher. Is it's not, Anthony Edwards thundering down the lane and slamming it, through with authority and then scowling at a guy.
Yeah.
He's much more Jokic, Doncic.
Yeah.
Bennett Sturts is like that too. Like we were having a debate, me and my friends that were together for our baseball weekend, and we were watching the games after one of our drafts. Is like, well, he's not a pro. I'm like, oh, I think Bennett Sturts is a pro. Another one of my buddies agreed. I'm like, he finds space. Like he's not an athlete, and there was a time that's all they wanted. That's when they wanted to wrestle you and play defense, Knicks style, and get up the court and try to dunk in a fast break. But now that they're seeking jump shots, it's a different player that you need. And you don't have to be the quickest. You just have to be able to – you need a quick release.
Yeah.
And he's got that. And Sturts does – and I think Wagler's is pretty quick. I have to go back and watch that again. But Sturts I was really watching because I'm like, okay. But he does the little dribble, hunt, back, forward, back. Oh, there, now I'm clear.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
He creates the space and he gets the shot off quick, and then he passes well, sees the floor. He's a pro. I think he's a late first, sometime the second, but I think he is Kevin Pritchard, not Kevin. What's Kevin's kid's name?
Peyton.
Peyton
Pritchard is a really good player for the Celtics right now. Who else is that kind of player that, even Fred VanVleet, you're like, he's like 5'10", and he's got like $100 million contract with the Rockets. I mean, because he'll hunt the shot and then he can pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Sturts is big enough to play good defense too, and play very good help team defense and all that. Wagler, I think, is pretty athletic. I don't think he's uber athletic, but he's certainly skilled. And I think he's down that road of the handle's there, and he'll find a spot. He can catch and shoot, or he can catch off the bounce, or he can shoot off the bounce. I don't know what's missing out of that kid's game.
No, it was fun watching them go against each other last weekend in the Elite Eight, and I found myself thinking as I was watching Sturts throughout the tournament, and find myself thinking he's almost playing like a European, and I'm thinking, how far have we come in our basketball evaluation when we used to look at Europeans who could be the most American-like, and now I look at Ben Sturts and thinking he's pretty European-like.
Yeah.
And that's a compliment to his all-around game. He not only does he have the skills that you talked about, but he's got eyes on the side of his head. He finds guys cross court, not looking. He is attracts the double team, kicks it to the open guy. He is just and I don't. And if he hadn't been recruited to Northwest by Ben McCollum, who shaped his game, who knows what would have happened to Ben Sturts as a player.
Well, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen to Ben, the modern-day Ben Sturts, the next Ben Sturts, is he going to go to UMKC?
Well,
because I think Mark Turgeon's not going to miss him.
Well, that's a very good point.
His first class shows that.
He's got
Corey, the kid from Oak Park.
Yeah,
Olathe North.
And Turgeon's smart enough to go tell him, like, listen, we're going to play high level. We're going to execute. I know what I'm doing. And I'll get some games because I got connections, so we'll get you some games against some big boys. And then when they come calling and offer you way more than I can give you, then you go. And I'll go get the next guy.
Kid from Piper. I saw those two guys face off in a tournament, another 8-10 varsity tournament out at Piper this year. Two best players on the court, and they're going to UMKC.
He got a commitment today from a kid in Pittsburgh who's 6'7" guard, who he thinks will grow to 6'9". And a kid that probably picked UMKC over Iona, Duquesne, schools at that level, but they weren't getting those guys. I mean,
they couldn't even get him to answer the phone call. But Mark Turgeon, you answer the call.
Yes.
Yep.
Mark Turgeon knows what he's doing.
Yep.
We've heard that hire. We're like, wow.
I really
nice work.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Mark Turgeon's a couple of unlucky breaks away from being at Kansas.
Right.
I mean,
from being the first name on the list.
He had a game in the Sweet 16 at Maryland. Was it against LSU? I can't remember where it was, because he had a big athletic team. He had I think a Euro, or at least a Euro sounding, a kid whose parents were Euro, his name, like 6'7", 6'8" white shooter. You might remember. You better remember our player pool guys.
Yeah.
But his leading scorer, was like a second-round NBA guy, but a really good college
who was
guy.
that?
And then he had a 6'10" kid who went in the second round. That's actually been in the league for like 8-9 years, and he had a really good, talented team. That was his best team, and they lost in the Sweet 16. And then he came back the next year, and I think he was like preseason number 1 or something, or top 5, and they didn't live up to that. But he was back in the tournament. Maryland said like not good enough, and they haven't been as good since.
Not a thing from Maryland.
And so I think Mark Turgeon is an underrated commodity. He has coached Wichita State to the Elite Eight, Texas A&M to the Sweet 16 at least,
and same with Maryland.
Maryland to the Sweet 16, and I think if he had stayed at A&M, he'd still be at A&M.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have been plenty happy with what he was doing, and so he's probably a 2 or 3 and done at UMKC. And if you're UMKC,
well, he can stay as long as he wants, that sort of thing.
I think you want him to be 2 or 3 and done. Like if you're at UMKC thinking he's going to coach here for 15 years, then he's disappointed. If he does what you think he can do, which is get you to the NCAA tournament, then he should have the opportunity to go back to a power league. And I'll give credit to, I read this about ESPN. Like when they hire a coach, guy gets fired or he's taking a break and he coaches. Like Bill Parcells is constantly on ESPN, they're not on ESPN. And he's on. They're like, I saw somebody in an interview like, are you annoyed that you have to keep replacing Bill Parcells? I'm like, no, it's a badge of honor for us. Like it means that we have people working here that are coveted by the league. Do you want to know what's going on in the NFL? You listen to us because guys that have coached and will coach and have GM'd and will GM'd are here. That shows that we hired good people. And that always stuck with me. And if you're at Tulsa, and certainly if you're at UMKC, like if your idea is to get a guy that's going to be there forever, you got the wrong plan. Like, you should be hiring guys that get hired by someone else, and then you better have the confidence that you can go find the next guy. And that was Tulsa, with Tubby Smith and Bill Self.
I go back to Barnett, who was at VCU for a long time.
Yeah.
They had Steve Robinson.
Steve Robinson did a great. There were some guys that then kind of failed when they went to the next level, but they all were really good at Tulsa.
Yeah.
And when they left, they just hired the next one.
I'm not sure about Turgeon. He may be a little bit different in that everybody seems to think that if he had waited a week, he might have taken Kansas State, right? He might have gone to, but I think this is just the perfect situation for him.
Why? Well, hang on. Why would he have had to have waited a week?
Well, but the timing was such.
Oh, did he get hired at UMKC before they let go?
Yeah,
it's that long back?
I
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
I didn't realize that was the timeline. Okay.
So I think that, but both happened before the end of the season, like mid-February or so.
Yeah, I do remember they did hire him early, but would he take a K-State job, and would K-State hire a Kansas guy?
I don't know. I don't know, but it was intriguing to think about.
Sure. It'd be a good hire for K-State.
Oh.
I'd be more on board with that than I would be. Do we ever think we'd be like, because I will say this, UMKC made a better hire than K-State? Now, I might be proven wrong, and I will freely admit it. I've been wrong lots of times. Well,
they hired a more established coach than Kansas State.
Yes.
A more successful coach.
Yes.
And I think they're right at the same age. I think both are in their early to mid-50s. So, but Turgeon wanted to, in the conversations that he's had since he's been back, he wanted to get back to Kansas City. The family's from here, and all the things that we kind of kid about, coaches' priorities. This is a little bit unique situation. Out of the game for 4 years, wasn't going to had offers to come back in the game during those 4 years, and decided this was the opportunity that he wanted. It is absolutely ground level for Division I, and I don't know if his idea is to be a coach for another 10 to 15 years. It may just be get UMKC up and running.
I think being able to have his son on his staff probably helps. Being in a place he's close to family, because he's from Topeka.
Yep.
And I'm not sure where his wife's from. Is she from here?
She was a K. They met when they were
met
KU.
at KU. Okay. And then have the family together, coach with his son.
Maybe have
a job that he probably looks at and goes, well, this will be easy. Like for him, it might be with his reputation.
Yeah.
And
but have his son succeed him. Have him lined up to succeed him.
Yeah. We'll take a break. More with Blair Kirchhoff. We're talking NCAA tournament. Blair Kirchhoff's brought to you by our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse. FrameKC.com. See him in person at 92nd and Metcalf. Mention 810. You can score some major discounts on sports memorabilia and custom shadow boxes. It's at Art and Frame Warehouse, 92nd and Metcalf. All right, you're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star is with us, our college insider. How do you like the games to play out?
I do love the matchups. Boy, Connecticut's track record, once they get this far, it's hard to. They don't usually lose. What the one Final Four they got to and didn't win was it 2009 in Detroit, and they lost to, I think, Michigan State in the semifinal. It took a home team playing near its campus to beat them. So I think UConn's gonna get through Illinois, and then
I disagree.
I think it's going to be an all Big Ten final. I think it'll be Michigan, Illinois.
Well,
I'm sorry. No. UConn, Michigan in the final.
UConn,
Michigan.
okay.
Yeah, not all Big Ten final.
I think Illinois is going to get UConn.
I hope so. Really pulling. That's the team I want to. Actually, I want to see Arizona for the Big 12, but I'm really pulling for Keaton Weigler to have a big tournament, big final.
I am too. I think that would be great. I do think Illinois. I think their variety of offense is amazing.
You know, they played during the regular season, and UConn handled them pretty well, but Weigler only played like 14 minutes in that game. So
they're a whole new team, Blair.
Yep. They're a whole new team.
Whole new team, totally different. Dusty May and Michigan. You think there's any chance Dusty May? But do you think if Arizona or Michigan wins this, that guy's never leaving? He becomes a lifer?
I think we're in a new era of college basketball that we have to evaluate coaching differently now. If you win it all, doesn't that put you ahead of where North Carolina is right now? I mean, why would you leave Arizona or Michigan as a national champion to go take another job that you'd have to work? You know, you're behind. You're behind the team.
And you're not the hero.
Yeah.
If you stay at the place where you won, you've established you can win a national championship and everyone loves you.
And if their finances,
somewhere else,
if their revenue is going to be the same, and I don't know. It's a different world for the Blue Bloods in that realm.
I'm just looking forward to a national semifinal coached by Dusty and Tommy.
Dusty
the first time.
and Tommy.
A guy named Dusty has ever gone to coach for a championship.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm with you. I think, North Carolina, I think all the Blue Bloods are finding out, we just watched Kirk Cignetti stay at Indiana.
Yeah, that's right.
Before he won the championship. They said, we'll pay you 11 and we'll give you the payroll for the roster, and he stayed. I mean,
they went and got the quarterback.
And I think it's harder to reach that level in football than it is basketball.
Absolutely, it would be. Just sheer numbers make it so.
We looked up the rosters on this and broke it down. It's like a lot of freshmen and a lot of seniors. There's only like a couple of sophomores they're playing double-digit minutes. It's like you're either an elite freshman or you're a senior or junior.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Of course, the freshmen are they're all the prospects.
Yeah,
right? It's an incredible freshman class in basketball, and we're going to get to see some of them. And that's why I love watching Arizona with Burries and Goa Pete. They're just so much fun to watch. I'm really looking forward. This is a great Final Four field. It'd be great if Kansas or Missouri was in it, but failing that, this will be a good one.
Yeah,
it should be entertaining.
It'll be fun. It should be. I hope we get two really good games on Saturday and then a great one on Monday.
Yeah.
But most people think you agree that the Michigan Arizona is the
better. I think those are the two best teams at the Final Four.
And whoever wins that is champion? Should be. I wouldn't go that far, though. I think the other ones are good. The other ones are really good. Blair, thank you. We appreciate it.
See you next week.
All right, since 1973, who holds the career record for rebounds in NCAA tournament play? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
husband, father, Elmo impersonator? He wrote The Arm and is currently writing its follow-up, The Leg. He has everyone's phone number, even yours. He's MLB insider Jeff Passan of ESPN, only on the program.
All right, let's talk some baseball. ESPN's Jeff Passan is with us here in the program. Does a fantastic job breaking down the world of baseball. We welcome him each and every Thursday. Jeff, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Soren. How are you?
Doing good. Certainly excited about the Royals. Not excited about today's game, but if they turn around and win tomorrow, then everything's fine, right? We'll get to the Royals in a minute. I want to, because a lot of times we go through the Royals and we don't get to some of the other news in baseball. I think there's some pretty good stuff out there we want to touch upon, and I know one of the things you wrote about, or at least tweeted about, the MLBPA has a war chest of, you said well over $400 million. The story you were quoting said up to $519 million. What should we make of this as baseball fans, that war is imminent?
Yeah, but also that preparation is important. I don't think that, so it's $400+ million in cash and liquid investments. It's another $90 million on top of that in money that they're owed. So yeah, it's around $500 million for essentially 1,200 players, right? And you would think that sounds like a lot of money. That's the sort of money that also runs out fast when you're looking at a group of players who collectively are going to be making like $5 billion this year. The owners, on the other hand, have about $75 million socked away per club, which is upward of $2.25 billion. So I think they're just all taking precautions about if something goes sideways, which is possible. I don't think it's going to, but I think it's very possible that things do go sideways, and that they just want to be in the best position where when the money is not coming in, when the ticket sales and the television money, and in the players' case, the paychecks are not coming, that they're not in a spot where, someone's going to say, we need to make a deal regardless of what the finances say.
Yeah, and it's, by the way, $416,000 a player, roughly $400,000 a player. That's not going to last long for some of the fellas, is it?
No, that's like a mortgage payment for some of the fellas. Then again, with the owners, Soren, these clubs that are used to hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue flowing in every year, and the acknowledgement that you might have to furlough staff or might have to lay people off. That's not something any organization wants to do. So I think it cuts both ways. And, the players have been saving licensing money for a couple of years now in preparation for this. And the owners, they are much richer than the players, but they're acknowledging that these multi-billion-dollar businesses that they own might not have any inflow of cash, which is not a good way to run a business. So I think, again, at the end of the day, there is too much to lose. But this is labor, man, and there have been too much to lose in the past, and they've managed to lose it anyway. So I'm not discounting anything.
Let's talk about the contract of Colt Emerson, 8 years, $95 million. I think this is the biggest one ever given to a player without a day in the big leagues. Is that correct?
That is accurate, yes.
What does it mean? What does it mean for the future? I was looking at some of the other contracts that have been given super early as to the level of success that they have had. It's a mixed bag, to say the least.
It is, but I think what we're seeing less of now is the Scott Kingery and Evan White, both of whom signed for 6 years and $24 million. The John Singleton, sort of that back end guy, the 50 to 100 range in terms of prospects. And I suppose, Cooper Pratt also, on the verge of agreeing to something with the Milwaukee Brewers for 8 years and $50+ million. And he's not a top 10 guy like Colt Emerson. He's not a top 10 guy like Connor Griffin, who might come to a deal with the Pirates for much more than that by, I think, probably sometime next week. I think what it says is a couple of things. Number one, cross certainty is always a good thing. Number two, We don't know what the economic system is going to look like. And if contracts from beforehand can get grandfathered into any situation, whether it's a cap or something that resembles a cap, then teams are going to want to do that. But more than anything to me, it says that teams recognize just how valuable it is to have the ages of 27 and 28 and 29 locked up for guys. And that's what the Mariners did here. They got Colt Emerson between the 2 free agent years they bought out and the option on top of that to take him through his 20s. Because if they didn't, if there were a situation where he was a free agent at 26 or 27 years old like he could have been, and he's as good as the Mariners think he's going to be, which is really, really good, he's going to be a $50 million a year player on the open market. Like that. That's what we have to remember about the consequences, Soren, of this offseason. When Kyle Tucker went out and signed for $60 million a year, and the next day, Bo Bichette got $43 million a year, and those were both on shorter-term deals, and opened up this whole new world of what players can do when they reach free agency. And reaching it at 29 or 30 is not nearly as scary to them, I think, as it was maybe before those deals took place. That being said, you are potentially, by signing one of these contracts, especially if you're a guy like Connor Griffin, who would have been a free agent at 26 years old, you are potentially leaving hundreds of millions of dollars on the table. But when it comes to getting that first $100 million, man, it's really hard for anyone to say no.
Tell me, I remember when we were talking when Bobby Witt Jr. had yet to break in that the Royals were discussing a deal like this. You said that there had been discussions. It didn't come to fruition. He would have a 1 year where he's fine. He had a fine rookie year. Just didn't dominate. Then he had a better year. The Royals signed him. And then he had an MVP caliber year. How close were they to getting something done before he ever played in the bigs?
I don't think it was really all that close, because I think Bobby Witt Jr. understood his value and understood this idea that the more you wait, like every year you wait in baseball, you more or less double what the team is going to be willing to offer you. And, if it was $50 million before Bobby Witt came up, which is, I don't know, I don't remember, honestly, the specifics of it, but just knowing what other contracts looked like, it was probably in the 50 to 60 range for 8 or 9 years. He waits a year. That next year he probably could have gotten $100+ million. And then he waits another year and shows what he showed and guarantees himself $288 million. So, Bobby Witt has the opportunity, because of the way that the contract is structured, to get another enormous bite at the apple. And next time around, as long as he's healthy, as long as he's producing like we know he can produce, he's going to be a $500 million player. And that's a relatively scary proposition for the Kansas City Royals. The $500+ million players right now, the three that there have been, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is in Toronto, which is an enormous market. Juan Soto is in New York, which is the most enormous market, and Shohei Ohtani's in Los Angeles, which, again, huge market. So can the Royals play in that sandbox? It's years until we actually have to have this discussion, and you never know just how much he's going to want to maximize it, or if winning a championship in Kansas City is his raison d'etre. Like, we don't know where Bobby Witt's head is at right now, but I can say this confidently. He loves the Kansas City Royals organization. He loves Kansas City. He thinks that winning a championship here would be better than anything he could do in the game, and so there's no reason to fear it at this point. It's just the economics of it don't always line up well for a market the size of Kansas City's.
Yeah, no. Is this something they should have done? I mean, right now we can look and say because he struggled last year, no, on Jack Caglione, but he's doing better this year. Should the Royals have been looking to do this with Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione?
Yeah, I think they're looking to do it with everyone, but it's hard to find that sweet spot when you're not like a tippy top guy. And Jack Caglione was always a very good prospect. I think he was probably, when he was called up, on the border of the top 10. So maybe you could make that argument. But there were enough reasonable flaws in his game where, you could see it, you squint, you could see it being a bust. I don't think that the Mariners have any bust worries about Colt Emerson. And maybe they're wrong. They didn't have bust worries about Jared Kelenic either, and that did not turn out great.
Yeah, Buddy Mamas, who covers the Mariners this weekend that I was with for our baseball league, was talking about how, back then all the talk was Rodriguez and Kelenic. Rodriguez and Kelenic. That was what they were building around. And it can go sideways. But to me, the idea is you don't do it for one guy. You do it for three guys. You do it for all the guys that you're sure about. And, yes, you're going to have one that blows up in your face, but overall you're going to do so much better on the ones that work that you're going to be better off as an organization.
Yeah, and threading that needle is not the easiest thing to do, man. I mean, I think the Royals hit a home run with Michael Garcia in his contract this winter. And so it's not as if they're averse to that necessarily. It's just that as time has gone on, the value of signing that pre-big league debut deal has shrunk. I think that you look at Colt Emerson's deal, $95 million is a lot of money when you see what other guys, veterans who have done it for a long time around the league, have paid. You're just looking for surplus value at that point. And, as good as we think Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen can be, will be, there's enough risk there that I think the numbers that they would want to get a deal across the finish line, they just haven't been compatible with what the Royals are willing to pay at this point. And it all depends on your appetite for risk. Both on the player side and the club side, and you have to meet up somewhere in order for that deal to be consummated.
Any chance the Pirates will slap one of those deals on Connor Griffin, who they just called up, who was the number one prospect in baseball?
Yeah, I think it's very likely to happen. It's not done yet, but I think they both have a sense of the area that they would need to be in to make it happen, and it's just going to be at that point a matter if the Pirates are willing to do that, because I think Connor Griffin right now is.
He is willing to. I thought there was more. I thought he is, and there was going to be something else. He is looking to do the deal. You're saying?
Yeah. I think he's.
Why? Why would you want to do it with the Pirates?
It all depends, Soren, on the individual player, right? And I think in the same way that we cannot assign. After the World Baseball Classic, if a few people are struggling, does that mean you're struggling if you play in the WBC? No. In the same way that we can assign food preferences. You might like chocolate ice cream. I might not. I think it comes down to what you feel your level of comfort is, and if you feel like you would be a better player knowing that you're not playing for money. Because everyone who is not signed, everyone, the contract has to come into their head at some point within those first 3 years. Okay, what's this going to do for my arbitration number? And after that, what's this going to do for me going into free agency? How are teams going to look at me? And if you don't have to think about that, it can really free you up to do things you might not be able to otherwise. And so as much as I would love to Malkovich Connor Griffin, climb into his head, understand what he's thinking, and why he's thinking that. I think the pertinent thing in this situation is he's open to the idea of an extension, and Pirates, having seen the Red Sox do it with Roman Anthony and having seen Colt Emerson do it, and J.J. Weatherholt in St. Louis is talking about one right now, I think the Pirates, this has to be their absolute top priority, because if the Kansas Cities of the world are going to have trouble re-signing their guys, like of the caliber of Bobby Witt, if he ever were to reach free agency, Pittsburgh has shown no willingness to do anything like this. And so getting free agent years for Connor Griffin, if indeed this does wind up being a 9-year deal, buying out 3 years of free agency is absolutely huge for the Pirates.
Why Connor Griffin go 9? Not that that's bad. I know he's a high school guy that's more volatile, but just for Royals fans to be ready for it. Jack Caglione went 6 in the draft. The Royals gave him $7.5 million. The Pirates gave Connor Griffin $6.5 million. Connor Griffin may have a first year just like Jack Caglione did last year. We don't know. We're going to see. He's getting the call to come up, but a lot of people think he is a can't miss superstar. at the shortstop position. What was it that, why wasn't he 1-1 since it's taken almost no time? He's 19 years old, and here he is ready to come to the big leagues, and everyone's anointed him to be the next big thing.
Totally reasonable question. There were thoughts that the hit tool might not be good enough. There were some mechanical changes that were done when he got into the organization, and they took quickly. And you could have looked at Connor Griffin and said, "I'm going to bet on the tools." I believe so talented that he's going to be able to fix his swing and hit for average, and it's not just going to be a power-only situation. There were also questions of what position is he, and what he's done over the last year at shortstop, the strides that he's made. He's a magnificent shortstop now, but a few people in the organization and other organizations thought he was going to be a center fielder. 6'4", 225 pounds, incredible speed. That could be used better in the outfield, but mostly it goes back to high school versus college. If there's a good college player who has tools and who has performed, especially in a big conference against the sorts of pitching you're going to see once you get into the minor leagues, teams are heavily going to lean toward that. And so I think it was, again, there's a risk element to this, and I think that teams saw Connor Griffin as not being quite as sure of a thing when it turns out he might be the surest in what looks like a phenomenal draft, by the way.
Yeah.
That has a chance to be an absolute all-time draft.
Yeah. They can have, it's okay if we don't have the best guy here. We just need our guy to be really good, right? That's all,
Yeah,
all we want.
I don't think the Royals regret picking Jack Caglione. I think that they look at him like he's, considering where some of the other first-round picks that they've gone with, this is not Frank Mozzicato. This is not Gavin Cross. This is a guy who made it to the big leagues almost instantaneously and really seems primed to have a good year.
Yeah, he does. But I will point out those other guys, the guy who made the call on those is gone.
Fair.
Yeah. So if you make those picks, you're out. That's the way it works. We're talking to Jeff Passan here in the program. A couple more on the national front. The Red Sox 1-5. The White Sox being 1-5, nobody notices. But the Red Sox at 1-5, a lot of people thought they were ready to take a big step forward, and a lot of people's darling to be the surprise playoff team was the Sacramento A's, who are also 1-5. Listen, it's early. No need to panic. But is there anything to look at on either one of these, or you go, you know what? There is real problems here.
I am not going to panic about the Red Sox yet. I just think that there's too much talent there for them to keep losing. But they don't play clean baseball, and that concerns me a little. The A's, I still think they're going to hit, and so I'm not terribly worried about them. The White Sox look like they stink. And I know they're gonna be promoting some guys, I think, at points this season, whether it's Sam Antonacci, who we saw lead off for Team Italy in the WBC, or Braden Montgomery, who they got in a big deal with the Red Sox last year. But I think at the end of the day, the Red Sox are still going to be around, and the A's, while I am concerned about their pitching, Texas looks very good out west, by the way. So I've been a big proponent of the Rangers, and I think they're going to have a good year. So the A's have a lot of work to do. Getting off to a bad start, it's not a death sentence, but it sure puts you in a bad position. And that's just not the sort of thing in April you want to be sitting there worrying about, what kind of hole do we have to climb out of?
By the way, I put a lot of stock in your Rangers statement because I have the Rangers in the playoffs. I'm the only one amongst the three of us when we did our baseball picks that had the Rangers in the playoffs. So, no pressure, Jeff, but let's not screw this one up.
I'll do my best, Soren.
Yeah.
It's all on me.
Yeah, it is all on you. I appreciate you recognizing that. That makes me feel better. Let's talk a little bit about the first of all, one more. The Marlins. Let's do the flip side. They're 5-1. Is there any reason to believe that that's got some staying power, or is it, again, just too early?
I don't know if it has staying power, but let's not forget the Marlins were competitive last year. And, they are – I'm not going to say that this is the reason that they're winning. But I'll say this. the Marlins calling pitches from the dugout, which they are doing these days, is a very, very interesting thing that I think is going to catch on around Major League Baseball pretty significantly over the next few years. And it wouldn't surprise me if 3 years down the road, 75% of the teams in the big leagues are calling pitches from the bench. I think that there's a strategic element that plays in the Marlins' favor right now. And sometimes when you're first mover on something, special things can happen. So I'm not discounting them entirely. I just look up and down at that roster, man, and I can't see them sustaining anything close to this level.
Calling pitches from the dugout has been done at all levels except for the big leagues.
Yeah,
for a long time. What is it? Is it just like, oh, the big league ego, you can't do it, you lose your team if you try to do it, and now the analytic world is like, we don't care if we lose them. It's fine. That we're gonna create the culture here and we're gonna power forward. Like, why hasn't it been done before now?
For exactly why you said, because I think like at the end of the day, like it's hard to tell a big league catcher no.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's like forever quarterbacks called their own plays, right? And now no one would even consider that being the deal. So to me,
oh my God, absolutely. And here's the thing: I think the Marlins were the perfect team to do this because the Marlins are young and they don't have a catcher with a whole lot of service time sitting there and saying, "Well, forget you. I'm a veteran. I've done this before. I know the staff better than everyone." And it takes a little bit of pressure off the catcher too. If you don't have to game plan, it allows you to focus more on your hitting and on your relationships with your pitchers and on framing and on all the other things. So I think there's a benefit to that. But what you lose also is the perspective of the catcher. And what I mean by that is the catcher is right there. He knows what pitch is working on a particular hitter. And maybe you don't see that from the bench and you lose that advantage.
I do think it'll be interesting because it's been knocked a lot of times when even like, oh, he's got to look over and see what's going on and all that. Like, yeah, I think it will take an adjustment, and I think you are right. Like, okay, well, I know your analytics say throw the curveball here, but its curveball sucks today, and like that's why I'm not calling it because I've seen it and it's very hittable.
Yep.
Yeah, so I do think that'll be interesting. All right, we're talking to Passon here in the program. Let's talk about the Royals. Listen, it's early. All the things we need to say, they're 3-3. There's no reason to panic, right? It's no disaster or anything like that. But at what point, when is it time to question the fact that the offense is not living up to the expectations that so many of us had?
June 1st.
It can't be so bad at a point like where you go, well, by June 1, they can't be at a good spot. They've buried themselves to a point, so, like, I'm going to go ahead and panic. Like, so June 1 is where, like, you want to see them get to being what you think they can be. But if on May 15th they need to score 10 runs a game, every game, to be acceptable, then we can hit the button? Or no, June 1, period. That's it.
Yeah, and some of this also depends on, like Alex Seaboldt has been maligned, we can say, a little bit by fans. Mm-hmm. The organization has stuck by him, but there have been groups of people, certainly, who have called for his ouster in the past. And so there's a possibility that the pressure of that, right, like if the Royals over the next month or so keep flailing offensively, that the pressure of that then gets to the organization that expects to have a better offense and that they say, hey, we might need to make a change. But I keep going back to this, Soren. I know I give the old cop-out answer of June 1st every year. But last year, the New York Mets were 45-24. They had the best record in baseball through almost half the season, and they wound up not making the playoffs. So I just like making blanket statements about a team being good or not good. That's just something that I try not to do. And if the offense is consistent in its struggles through early to mid-May, we're going to start hearing chatter.
Well, I want to go back and I want to underscore what my question was. When is it okay to be concerned? Right? Not when is it okay to declare them crap. When is it okay to get concerned? Like, because to me, it's, and you kind of answered it there with you're talking about Alex Zumwalt and like, because my point is like, I get it right now. It's early. We're still getting in the rhythm of things. We can't really say it's been cold. It was kind of rainy and crappy yesterday, but it really wasn't even that cold yet last night, even with the rain and fog thing that was going on. The fog tells you it wasn't that cold. So, I get all that. But I mean, I think there does come a time where, we quit talking about it being early like that. Like, no, we're still confident what it is. Because what you do want to do is begin to look at like, okay, it's not looking good. We need to start looking at alternative plans, whatever it might be.
I think that's fair. And I think that's probably May 1st.
Okay.
I think you give it a month.
Okay. How important was it for Cole Reagans to have a good start today? He went 6 innings, gave up none earned, only around 5 base runners, 4 hits, 1 walk, 8 Ks, 1 run not earned. He bounced back. How important was that? Like, I don't think anybody, again, kind of like the hitting. We weren't going to hit the panic button, but we put a lot of stock in a couple of starts at the end of last year. And he got off to a slow start last season. This was pretty important, wasn't it?
I think so, and I think it's just another reminder, like, he's healthy, right? And as long as Cole Reagans is healthy, I feel like he's going to be good, or going to be at least consistently solid. Is he going to turn into Tarek Seaboldt? I remember a couple of years ago, after Cole Reagans got traded and going into his first full season with the Royals, he and Seaboldt were sort of looked at in the same way, like left-handers with really big stuff who have the potential to be something much greater than expected. Seaboldt took that leap. Reagans has shown flashes, but it's going to be the consistency with him. And we need to see 3, 4, 5 starts in a row like the one today, where he's going at least 6 innings, where he's barely getting hit around and where he's striking guys out. So I think once we get that, if that can come in consistently, then I look at Cole Reagans like somebody who can actually be an ace. Right now, it's not all potential, but it's mostly potential for that, knowing that he's going to be pretty good regardless each time he goes out.
Seth Lugo had an excellent outing the first time out, and I think the consensus for everybody has been that, like, well, I don't think he's going to be, and I'm president of this club, the way I've looked at it, I don't think he's going to be 2024 Seth Lugo. I think that's going to be his career year, but I think he'll be better than last year and be a real fine pitcher, and what I really want him to do is eat innings. But are we selling him short? Is, like, being a top 5 Cy Young guy a real possibility for him again?
I'm not going to go that far. I think Seth Lugo, where he's at this point in his career, is a very solid mid-rotation starter. And like you said, somebody who's going to chew up innings. But the stuff, I just don't know if we have like that second-place Cy Young finish like he had a couple years back in him again. And maybe just because of the variety that can crop up, and you can see that in individual starts, but consistently, he's not a guy who, when he's on the mound that day, I'm going into that game saying, this guy's going to throw 6 shut today. No, I don't think it's a fight like that.
Yeah, okay. How about Chris Bubich?
Again, I think he's in sort of the same situation as Lugo is, where we have certainly seen those flashes from him, but is that something to expect on a consistent basis? Let's put it this way. If the Royals get that kind of performance from either of those guys, it makes me even more confident that this is a playoff team. I think that as much as anything, just because we've seen how pitching has carried this team. It did so in 2024. It kept them afloat in 2025, and in 2026, their rotation is going to be every bit as important as it was in each of the past 2 seasons.
How much should the lack of velocity and lack of command on Carlos Estevez concern people?
I'm concerned. And I was a little surprised, honestly, that they stuck him in that safe situation on the day Dom Smith hit the walk-off grand slam, just because the performance had been so bad during spring training, like scary. When a guy's losing 10 miles off his top fastball, something's up. And maybe it's health, maybe it's mechanics, maybe it's mental. I don't have an answer to that at this point, but when you don't have the answer, these are big league hitters, man. And Dom Smith, he's an okay big league hitter. Like, he's a guy who bounces around from team to team every year, and he was treating that at bat like he was facing a high schooler. So I hope for Carlos Estevez's sake and for the Royals' sake that he can figure out what it is that's impeding him right now, because that bullpen gets a lot thinner if he's not in a leverage spot. And it's nice to have Lucas Erceg there, a guy that can close. It's nice to have Matt Strahm there, a guy who can close. It's nice to have John Schreiber, a guy who can close. But a big part of why the Royals were who they were last year was because the bullpen was so deep. And if you lose a guy like Estevez, it makes it just that much less so.
Yeah, no, and I think that's that's one of the things they're going to have is depth, and that's one of the reasons I'm a little bit confident. I do like what I saw from Luinder Avila and Mason Black as being guys that can come up and support that bullpen if they need it. I know they didn't get what they wanted today from Steven Cruz, but I kind of like at least what they. I know not to read too much into spring numbers, and Luinder Avila was putting up numbers last year, so there's more than just his spring numbers, but I think those guys look like they do have some depth in the bullpen. We know they've got depth in starting pitching, but I think they've got depth of bullpen if they need to go get it.
And you're not even talking about Dennis Collier either, who I think has a chance to be up this year too. So I think the Royals are going to be okay with their bullpen. It's just any time you're dealing with a club that has the payroll that they do, it's just not as easy as like the Dodgers to go out and pay Tanner Scott $72 million, and if it doesn't work, oh well. No, I mean the Royals gave Carlos Estevez 22, and if you lose him, that's a hard thing to fill.
We're talking to Jeff Passan here. Time for our final four. I will start you with this just to put you on the record. Your World Series pick, who over who?
I got Dodgers over Mariners.
Okay, I have it the other way. I have Mariners over Dodgers.
All right, so, fair enough.
Yeah, it's fair, and it's what would be right for the world. Let's be honest. One, to get the Mariners off the schneid, and two, the Dodgers don't need anything new. How's your bracket?
I won.
Oh, you won it already? It's already in the bag?
That's how good I was, Soren.
Wow. Did you have all four Final Fours?
No, remember I do the half-ass bracket where we. Yeah. And my first, I'll tell you, my first 7 picks were VCU, so I got 11 points. High Point, so I got 12. I missed on McNeese, but I got 6 from Louisville, 7 from Kentucky, 10 from Texas A&M, and 11 from Texas.
Okay.
So I believe I scored more points on the first day than any of my compatriots did the rest of the time.
Okay. All right. I like it. Well done. Does Jerry McNamara work for Syracuse?
Yes, I think it does, actually. I like the press. I think he won the press conference. But,
yeah, I think so.
At the end of the day, what works for anyone is how big is your NIL budget. So I think Jerry McNamara works as long as the distinguished alumni of Syracuse University allow him to make it work.
I saw a report that he would have $9 million to work with, and then I saw a story today that a Big Ten coach said if you don't have $12 million to spend in NIL, you're in trouble. So I was like,
there you go.
Great. Okay. All right. Finally, the Drake was roaming around here in a Chris Fussell Royals jersey. $3 he got at a thrift shop, a game caliber Chris Fussell jersey for the Royals. Do you remember Chris Fussell, by the way?
Nope.
Oh. So then my question of who did the Royals trade for Chris Fussell will probably fall on deaf ears, will it not?
Who was Chris Fussell?
Don't try and
don't besmirch Chris Fussell.
Yeah, don't besmirch Chris Fussell. Fussell like Russell.
Well, right, but when was Chris Fussell around?
He was around. I'm not sure. What were your years at the Star?
Years at the Star were 04 and 05.
Oh, this is so great.
That.
No, yeah, he was. Damn it! I was thinking that was going to fall right in your lap. No, he was 98 to 2000.
You know what? I'm not sure I could name all 25 guys on the 2004 Royals, but I bet you I could come pretty close.
Go.
Wait, you're actually asking me to do this live on air right now?
No, because it would take.
Because if you want to go position by position, they traded midseason for John Buck in the Carlos Beltran deal, and he was their catcher. The great Ken Harvey at first base. Tony Graffinino was kind of a turd to me early on, so I know he was the second baseman. Angel Baroa, I believe, coming off his Rookie of the Year season, was the shortstop. Third base. Joe Randa.
Yep.
Joe Randa was third baseman. David DeJesus was in center.
My favorite part is how he's looking at the Baseball Reference page, and he's not going in orders to try to make it look like it's not obvious that he's doing it.
Oh, screw you, Petro. I'm going around the diamond, and I don't know who's the left fielder. Was it Aaron Guile on left?
I'm trying to see. He was on the roster, had 157 plate appearances, but
he played mostly right.
He is not listed as the Baseball Reference like most played at that spot.
All right. I do remember.
You have not made a mistake up until now, though. I will tell you.
Pretty amazing.
How did I make a mistake?
No, I said you haven't. You haven't made any mistakes.
Okay. Calvin Pickering was definitely, I remember writing a story about Cal Pickering. And if we're on like the DH track, Matt Stairs was very cool to me. Like, love Matt Stairs. Mike Sweeney was on that
team. He was the main DH, but Stairs and Pickering were on the roster. Yep.
Yeah, I know Mike Sweeney was on that team because when I wrote something, Jose Lima, after the Royals got off to an awful start, had given me like an incendiary quote. And I went and ran with it, and he was pissed that I wrote it. And I was so scared because it was my first year, and I didn't want to be like a pariah in the clubhouse. And Mike Sweeney was so nice to me. I was like, I have it on audio. Do you want to hear it? He's like, no, Jeff, that's okay.
Brother,
pitching's gonna be a lot harder.
Well, hang on, just to finish the outfield. There was a guy that we dubbed Tool Time.
Yep.
Because they always talked about him having all these tools. Do you remember who that was?
Oh, God. Well, that wouldn't be that Juan Gonzalez was on that team.
Juan Gonzalez was on that team. No, this was a guy. This guy, he was just a tool. This guy came up with the Marlins, and then the Royals got a hold of him. Abraham Nunez.
Yes, Abe Nunez, of course.
There was the left fielder was a failed first-round pick. Does that help? I mean, really, in this organization's history, no.
Real name Dermal.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
The man who shot poor Karen Kornacki in the eye, D-Brad.
No, that was actually, I was there that night. It was actually, I can't think of his name.
The guy who said he was faster than Carl Crawford.
Oh. What was his name?
I'm trying.
He hit 20 homers a couple times for them.
Hang on. I'll look it up. You going to try the pitchers?
I got Brian Anderson, who was awesome. I got Jimmy Gobble. I think Mike Wood probably was in that rotation after he came over mid-year. I know Greinke came up that year because I was down at AAA with him. You know, I probably will screw up the relievers. Affeldt was a reliever that year. Mm-hmm. Nate Fields was a reliever that year.
Yep.
Sean Camp was a reliever. DJ Carrasco was a reliever. Curtis Lascanic told me an incredible story about Jim Leland smoking a cigarette and getting progressively naked after a game because he was so angry. So Curtis Lascanic was on that team. I believe we had like a very short Kevin Apier stint on that team.
The Apier stint was on the 0-3 team. Oh, no, but yeah, Apier did start that year and have 4 innings for the Royals in 2 starts.
Yeah, that's probably all I've got.
Did you mention, if I were to quote the great Tony Pena, Yimmy Yabble?
I did. Yeah, I did say Jimmy Gobble.
Okay.
I did say Jimmy Gobble.
I just want to make sure. I think you did pretty good. You did pretty good on that. By the way,
and of course, who I saw at the winter meetings this year, Eduardo Villasís.
Oh wow!
Boy.
Yes, the great Eduardo Villasís.
One start.
Bombed.
against the Yankees in New York on a
Yankee
Saturday.
Stadium, at Yankee Stadium,
which I'm pretty sure was a blank U to ownership from
it might have been
the individual who made the decision. Okay.
I mean, that was Allard Baird time.
No, I wasn't going to say it, but okay.
Allard Baird, the first base coach for Team Italy in the WBC this year.
Was he really? I didn't know that. I should have texted him.
By the way,
Al is living in Italy right now. Living.
I
his
heard
best
that.
Life. Yep.
That is awesome.
The clubhouse assassin was amazingly 2-time back-to-back Royals RBI leader Emil Brown.
Oh, I had the Brown part right.
I was standing next to Karen when it happened. We were talking to Tony Pena Jr., and she was kneeling down as she often does, and he was his locker was right next to the where you go back for the showers, and he went bang, and that's it was a Friday night before the game, and I've never seen anything like that happen before.
My sincere apologies to D. Brown for confusing him there.
Yeah, please. Kyle is typing furiously because we have the audio from it. If I don't know what it's under, and Kyle's never had to look for it before.
It split her contact in half. It was on the floor.
It was just to be clear, because I want to be. Let's back up, because Jeff said shot Karen Kornacki in the eye.
Yeah,
and you're like, what? Like it was one of those little yellow rubber pellet guns with a
air-powered pellet gun.
Yeah, air-powered pellet gun, and he fired it. I think it ricocheted and caught Karen in the eye. It was just not good. I mean, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to say it was just hijinks. It was not a good idea.
Not cool. How about don't fire a gun inside a room? Whether it's a pellet gun, a BB gun, or like a gun, don't do that.
It split. Her contact was laying on the floor was split in half.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's not good. That's going to be a fun. That's going to be a fun post game. He was not in the clubhouse after the game, and they addressed it.
Yeah,
but he was not there. He was gone.
That's cowardly.
Kyle just said it's going to take forever, so let me give you I'll give you my reenactment. Ow! Who did that?
You can hear it. Bang!
Yeah. You hear this little pop. Ow! Who did that? And I'm not trying to make fun of Karen. I mean, it's ridiculous.
No. I will come at Karen Kornacki was always so nice to me.
So sweet. Such a kind person.
And so accepting, and like somebody who had a lot of tenure and gravitas here in Kansas City. So much respect for Karen, and many apologies for that contact lens.
Yeah,
like that's not great.
Absolutely,
first female TV reporter in Columbus, Ohio history.
There you go.
Yeah,
trailblazer.
Jeff, you're the man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week, and we'll go over the 2005 Royals.
I look forward to it. See you, boys.
But first, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. Since 1973, who holds the career record for rebounds in an NCAA tournament play?
Career? Well, Leitner wouldn't be a bad guy with 23 games and playing up front.
Nope. In 73, they changed the rules on rebounding, so they separate all time, and they have 73 since.
And so what was your...
Who holds the career rebounding record for NCAA tournament play since 73?
Per game or...
Total rebounds. Total rebounds, 186.
And how many games? 6?
No, I can't remember. I had the thing. I could probably pull it pretty quickly. I don't remember how many games it was.
Supposed to do this during the kicker?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we are, but he's already done it. It's,
I heard he did it. That's right. He did it in 16 games. Actually, it was 181 in 16 games.
And it was pre-73 then?
Since 73.
Oh,
since 73, who holds the record? Local, maybe some local flavor.
Danny Manning?
Nick Collison.
Okay.
Nick Collison, and he leads by 11 or 12 over Christian Leitner. But
wow.
20 of those came in there, 21 of them or something like they came in that one championship game. 181.
Yeah, that's impressive. Collison was a hell of a player.
Sure was.
All you Kansas people do is whine about him. They're making it 3,000 2003. If Collison makes it 3,000. And by the way, I do that, and Kyle just looks at me and nods like, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I don't remember that game.
Oh, you don't remember the 03 championship?
No.
When were you born?
98.
Oh, come on. You got to remember that. We'll sit and watch it sometime. It'll be fun. Me and you.
Okay, great.
We'll have a good time.
One of you will have a great time.
Yeah. That might be one of the last ones without HD.
Probably so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
It might not look quite as good as we'd like it to, so we'll see. All right, let's hear from the Royals. They lose today 5-1 to the Minnesota Twins. However, Cole Reagans had a very good outing for the Royals. I mentioned it with Jeff Passan just a moment ago. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, not earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts for Cole Reagans. He bounces back from what was a rough first start to get it done in this one. Matt Quatrero was asked about his outing.
Outstanding. I mean, he was a little inefficient the first couple innings, but then really started locking it in. I mean, we saw the swings on the changeup that we're used to seeing. The fastball velo held. It had the right movement on it, and I thought he locked it in as he went more and more. I mean, we're going to take that result every time, 6 innings, and it looked like he probably was going to get 5, but then the 4th, 5th, and 6th were really good.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it was important. We mentioned it. Jeff Passan agreed. Want to feel good that he's healthy and going good, and he makes you feel that way.
0.61 ERA from the starters the last 5 outings.
Been pretty good. Reagans was asked what he thought about the performance.
A lot better than the last one. Felt like I commanded the baseball, a little bit better. I had the first 3 innings, a little longer innings. Some deep counts, and then, felt like I got some quick outs, able to get a little deeper into the game.
Well, that's good. Solemn clubhouse. Of course, they get the loss, so that's one of the reasons why everyone's down. Also, Carter Jensen decided to oversleep. Kyle, your thoughts on this?
I knew you were coming to me.
That's the first thing I thought of.
I never missed a baseball game because
No, never a baseball game. Maybe a Central Bank pregame show, but never a baseball game. Yeah. Carter Jensen was asked about oversleeping this morning.
Yeah, no running from it. Just didn't wake up to my alarm, slept through it. Don't really have an excuse, nor should I. It sucks, happens. Feel like I let teammates down, coaches down. So, just learn from it and just know it won't happen again.
It's the message when he came in and then moving forward. It sounds like it's probably not going to happen again.
Yeah, no, definitely won't happen again. It was tough, just kind of owning up to it, apologizing to guys, as I see them, and just tried to, obviously knew I wasn't going to play, and just tried to, let the starters get their routine in, try not to make it about me, because at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's my mistake, and just move on from it.
I'm fine with his answers, everything. He said, it happens. It does happen. It's happened to all of us. Absolutely. But leave that part out.
Yeah.
It won't happen again. is what you need to say in that moment. Vinny Pasquantino had his thoughts on this as well.
First and foremost, we're glad Carter's okay, right? I mean, that was kind of the initial thought when you're trying to get a hold of his parents and everything like that, to just make sure everything's okay. But once you find out he's okay, it's like, all right, it's a growing moment. He's really young. There are some things that cannot happen, and that's one of them. So he's going to have to wear it on the chin, same way anybody would have to. So it can't happen. And, hopefully it doesn't happen again. But it's one of those things that you can't afford mistakes like that in this game. So just gotta move forward the best that he can. I know he feels really bad. I know that it was not his favorite drive to the field this morning, but it wasn't our favorite morning either. Trying to figure out what was going on. So, he'll learn from it and grow up a little bit. And we're here for him though. It's not like anybody's mad at him. Things happen, but you got to learn from mistakes like that and maybe get another alarm clock or something.
Listen,
that's a leader.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the team leader. I
am torn by one. I think that's great. That's absolutely the perfect way you want the leader of the team to handle it, and he did it. But I also just love the idea that he said he's got to wear that on the chin. You take one to the chin.
Yeah.
You wear it on your sleeve. You marry those together. You can go a lot of directions with that one. I'm just saying. You can go a lot of directions.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You can go a lot of directions with that one. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's it.
All right, we'll leave you with this. I don't know which one we want to go with. Kirk Cousins is a Raider. Didn't that seem inevitable?
Yeah, sure.
Is he going to be the star of quarterback again as a Raider? That'll be fun.
Would be fun.
Yeah, mentoring the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, that'll be it. And then his wife talking about his, his outfit for that day. That could be good. I like that. Let's go with this one. The Washington Wizards have apologized for an April Fool's skit in which a planted fan, so they planted a guy, was seemingly tricked into believing he had made a half-court shot for $10,000. In a statement Thursday, the Wizards said they, quote, missed the mark, but that the entire bit was scripted. So, like, I guess people are like, oh, no, you didn't really win, type of thing. And everyone's like, April Fools, we thought, we made you think you're winning, but you didn't really get the 10 grand. How about the Wizards can't even have a little fun without screwing it up?
No.
I mean, we know they can't defend anyone. No. If you forget, that's who Bam Adebayo went for 83 on. They gave up like 150 or something. Was it last night? Or they were the one. Did Paul George go for like some monster number on them?
Probably.
I mean, you talk about a franchise. What are we with? The net franchises?
Yeah.
Wizards.
Ever since they changed the name.
I'm telling you, get rid of Wizards. I would go back to Bullets. I'm not going to go into that spiel, but definitely get rid of Wizards.